I'm trying to remember what happened.
I know.
All right, so let me just refresh my memory, and you guys could chime in on stuff. So I remember that the zombies are everywhere. And Rick's like, dude, let's all lock ourselves in. We got food. We can wait it out, and then we could pick a time to strike.
Right.
And then the old lady gets bit, and then the one that looks like Skeletor, the old lady that runs.
Deanna, which you called that, Imran. You called she was going to die.
I told you she was going to die. She gave up the plans. Well, no, what happened was the things come down, and they all kind of scramble, and they're getting run down, and Ron and the stupid preacher show up, and then remember, Jessie starts firing. She says, run in here, we can hide. So they're temporarily safe in this house. Now, stupid Sam is upstairs, and stupid Ron is with them. Ron is the reason that their whole fucking safety goes down, first of all, because he's got this dumbass beef with Carl, and because they fought.
Is it dumb?
Dude, I think it's
it's in the apocalypse. You don't have a lot of pussy to throw around. You got to take advantage of it when you can get it.
Is it?
Well,
there was a lot of that.
Rick killed him.
His dad.
Yeah, he killed his dad.
Rick's dad killed his dad.
Regardless if he's a shitty asshole or not, he probably liked his dad and not happy with that.
Yeah, that's that too.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I would say bad timing to make your strike.
Yeah, it's just not the right time to lose it. When how about you wait till you secure this whole thing? So because of that little scuffle, the walkers get attracted. They lose the whole first floor of the house eventually, and then they're fucked. In the meantime, what do you guys think of Morgan and Carol over their little side plot? This part I thought was kind of weird because some of these things seem to be happening, and you forget that there's just tons of walkers.
I just don't buy Morgan's character. I don't give a fuck. I don't know about this episode that was 2 hours long that he had. I don't buy this. You want to survive. Why would you kill this guy? It's obviously gonna fucking do something bad.
Right.
It's so dumb.
I agree. Morgan's character it
doesn't fit into this universe. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
And how is he not able to take out Carol? Really?
Well, it's not, I don't think
he's able to take care of Carol.
I don't know. I don't know about him fighting Carol, but I just find his character to be quite maddening. His character is almost used as a plot device to further the story, but it's stupid the way they're using him right now because they're keeping people alive. Yeah.
Why do people even listen to him? They should just get him the fuck out of there. They should be like, you know what? This guy's an asshole. Let's get him out. He's gonna be a pain in the ass. Let's just send him back out.
Dude, the funniest part was the wolf guy himself is just contradicting him. Morgan's like, I'm not going to let you kill him. And he's like, you should probably kill me. And he goes, he's not going to kill anyone. And the wolf's like, oh, I'm going to kill everybody. And Morgan's like, dude, you're not helping me out at all. But
that's annoying.
Yeah,
it was annoying. It was quite annoying. And I have to point out, too, that okay, so then the wolf takes a hold of the nurse that's become a doctor, or the psychologist that's become a doctor, Denise.
Yeah.
And Denise's character is, we haven't really gotten to know her all that well, so she's kind of whatever. But the fact that the two people come in, forget their names.
It was Tara, Rosita, and Eugene.
They come in with guns, and the guy's got a knife to the girl, and just shoot him. Who cares about the girl? Just shoot the girl. Shoot them both. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why do they fire over their guns?
It's crazy.
And then when the wolf gets their guns, why doesn't he not shoot them?
I don't know. And he just stepped out into a shittier situation. There should be a tons of walkers around. Where are you going, dude? There's walkers everywhere. First of all, I didn't understand. It was hilarious how Eugene was just standing there when the walkers are swarming, and he's just standing there. He's just looking around.
I fucking hate him too.
And then he's reading world history, but I didn't understand. They were in that garage. And then they go through that door. How do they get to where Morgan and Carol were? That didn't make sense to me.
I think there was a commotion downstairs, and they just happened to walk in the same house that Morgan and Carol were in.
No, but they were in the garage. Remember, they locked themselves in the garage, and then Eugene's like, "I got lock."
Yeah, he picked. That's what I'm saying. He picked the lock
into that building,
house. And they happened to be in that house. It's just a coincidence. They both were in the same house.
Lock picking is within my skill set.
Yeah, I didn't really like this episode at all. I'm down on it. I don't like Morgan. I think that a violent pacifist is stupid.
Morgan you're right.
That's Morgan, one thing, but he's always beating up people so they don't kill other people.
he body slammed Carol. Carol. What kind of a fucking pacifist is this? And I think he felt bad for a second, and then the dude took him out.
Fuck him. I hate him.
No, yeah, Morgan is not. I mean, I liked Morgan. I found Morgan intriguing, but this episode, I found him to just be an ass. Like, he literally is just keeping that guy alive and cost everybody a lot here. I would have to say I'm with Rug Boy too. I don't know about you, Imran, but I didn't think this episode was that great. And when you compare it to past mid-season finales, granted, if this was not a mid-season finale, I don't think it would have gotten as much hate. But the fact that it was labeled a mid-season finale, and then if you look at past mid-season finales, like you look at season 2, that's when Sophia comes out of the barn. Season 3 is when they attack the governor back in his city. And season 4 is when the governor attacks the prison. Season 5, the mid-season, is when Beth dies. Those are all huge moments. Nothing really was big here. They set the bar where every mid-season finale something huge happens, and this one felt like just
the old lady died. That's the only big thing that happened.
And she was like, whatever. And it felt like the first part of like a 2-part episode.
Exactly. It literally left mid-scene.
Right.
At the end, where they decide to smear the guts on them. Now, I thought it was awesome to watch them walk through a living room full of walkers. It was eerie as shit. I love that shit, and I love the shot on the porch where they're just standing there and the walkers are just around them. Well, but visually, it reminds, because there's a scene in the comic book that is exactly like this, where the stupid kid Sam is like, "Mom," and I think in the book it doesn't end well for the mom or the kid. I don't know what's
I want him to get eaten. Fuck him.
Fuck that kid. That kid's gonna cost them all.
Shut the fuck up.
There was too many unlikable characters in this. Yeah. There's too many people that were acting stupid.
Well, Kirkman has said that this coming back, lots of people die. Lots of people die in the next episode. So
I'm happy about this.
Can we talk about the button scene real quick?
Yes. Well, yeah. What'd you think about, before we get to that, what'd you think about how Deanna went out? I thought that was kind of badass. Like, she was going to take herself out, and then there's like a silent scream, and she just goes down like in a.
Well, she finally kind of embraces that it's supposed to signify that she embraces how this world is, and that she's just going to go out fighting and not just shoot herself in the head.
You almost got a hatchet to the head too, stupid Deanna, looking for the baby. What are you doing? Like, they think you're dying. They already think you're going to be a zombie. Why are you over at the baby? Like, Rick almost had her to the head. That would have been awesome.
That would have been great if you just killed her right there.
And he's like, whoops. And she has to say, it's still me. Like, this is a world where you have to say, it's still me. That's fucked up, people.
That is. I mean, she went out all right.
I think the rule is, if you get bitten by a zombie, you have to constantly be humming. So they know that you're not like a dude.
Just some like kind of tune. Yeah. Just because the zombies have they're very auto-tuned. They're all very, very pitchy. So you just got to hum something, and we'll know. Now,
Imran, before you get to that button scene, what did you think of the episode? Because I've heard, me and Rug Boy have both kind of bashed it a little bit.
I mean, the ones you mentioned with the other mid-season finales, they've never left us mid-scene like that. You know what? I don't know. It was clunky. I just like the zombie bits at the beginning, at the end.
It's Walking Dead. It's a good show. It's better than most shows, but there's just things that are going on that are annoying. That why are they still doing these things where they're making these characters that make no sense? And like, obviously are just, Anthony said, just made to drive the story along. And it seems like there should be better than that.
Right.
Yeah. They're stretching it out a little too much. Like the times, this whole half season was just like, it was a little too slow time.
I mean, if you look at what is it, like 8 episodes?
Yeah.
I don't know how many, they probably like a day has passed.
Yeah. It's
like, it's very like, day. Nothing is, I mean, granted, a lot's happened in this 1 or 2 days, but like, come on, like, let's move it along a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they've stuck far too long with this scene right now.
Yeah.
Get moving, people.
Yeah. Like, even at least like when the season 2 and season 3, when they were on the farm and in the prison, like it felt like days were going by, or stuff was like not the next day or the next day. Like things were happening. It wasn't all like within 3 hours.
The feeling, it started out with the season started out with a great feeling of tension and suspense. But I think after the Glenn dumpster thing, it
slowed down.
kind of like petered out, and it's just trying to ramp it back up, and it's just that I need a little bit more. You're right, it hasn't been enough.
It's probably better. I mean, it's probably better upon a binge watch, but upon a weekly watch right now, it's a little rough right now.
I think one of the problems is everyone is so separated too, and juggling all these storylines. It's really, you got to stop time, you got to rewind, you got to come back and reset. Well, I mean, so regarding that, the button scene, where the fuck are Abraham, what's her face, and Daryl, Sasha? Jordan the Pipe says, "Is it worth binge watching?"
Yes.
Anthony, you binged it. What do you say?
Yes. Simple.
Anthony
Yes.
says, that's an official.
It's one of the best shows ever, but it's one of the best shows you're ever going to watch. It's got all that drama and everything that you want, but so I would definitely recommend it. I think what they're doing this season is, Anthony actually said it perfectly. They're doing this thing where they're decompressing it over a few days, and they're constantly throwing stumbling blocks, so they can never really pick up speed and like get going somewhere. You know, let's get going. Let's move the story along. It just is always these little things that it would just be freaking annoying in real life to go through this shit. So I don't want to see it on a show.
Yeah, exactly. And you bring up Daryl and Sasha and Morgan, or not Morgan, Abraham. And that's where I think the show is kind of losing momentum, is just when you think you're picking up momentum with these characters, the next episode switches to another set of characters. So you're like losing the track of what happened with the other characters. Like I completely forgot about Daryl and Sasha and Abraham, and I want, and they're spending a lot of time with characters that I don't like that much, like Morgan.
Yeah, they're not back yet. Like, come on, be back yet.
Yeah, be back.
Or and
if you're gonna do an episode, have a few of them in the episode. Like, have the storylines go concurrently within the episode, not within one episode, and then you have to watch a different episode to see what's going on with someone else. Like, I don't know.
They've been trying. They tried. I mean, they're clearly trying something different this first half of the season with that kind of storytelling, as opposed to, most other shows where you would jump back and forth.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it works.
And it worked in season 4 when they all got lost after the prison. That I thought worked.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then when they got together, it was an amazing moment. But for some reason, it's stalling the momentum. Now, at the very, very end, which I actually missed because it was actually Into the Badlands, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't even at the end of the show. So if you had a DVR, you didn't see it unless you watched Talking Dead.
No, I didn't see it. What happened?
So they're driving in the truck, which is that Patty? That's still Patty, right? The fuel truck.
Yeah, they're driving in the truck.
They're driving down the road, and they see up ahead of them like 4 bikers and dudes just standing there in the middle of the road, and they slow down. And the one biker dude is like, come on out, we want to talk to you. And then nobody moves. He's like, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And everybody comes out, and he's like, he's going to refresh. Okay. He's like, this is starting out better than expected. He goes, we want all your weapons. Daryl's like, that's not going to happen. He goes, they're ours. And he goes, no, they're not your weapon. That truck isn't yours. That fuel isn't yours. None of your shit is yours. All of that now belongs to Negan.
Oh, shit.
And it ends right there. And so now we know how to say his fucking name. It's Negan.
Who said that?
The one
of the guys?
Yeah, just ran. They all had guns. Just one random weird.
I think Tony still got audio problems.
Anthony, can we hear you talk?
No, he still got nothing.
It started out he was having. No, we can't hear you, dude. No. That's weird. Refresh again. That is weird.
All right, let's keep going.
All right,
and
I'm gonna make you co-host here.
All right, how about you refresh, and then I'll freshen up, and we'll all be fresh.
Okay, wait. Are we all refreshing? No. Anthony,
you go first.
Me or Anthony?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Anthony should go first.
Anthony, refresh again.
He can't. Maybe he can't hear us.
Oh, he can't hear us. Oh, there he goes. Okay, hold on.
He heard me. He heard my cry for help.
He heard your cry for help. Let's give it one more try. Yeah, it was acting a little buggy in the beginning.
Are you? All right, I can hear you now.
Yay! I can hear you.
I don't know what happened there.
Okay, that's cool.
Listen, it's magic, people. This is Blab. It's the internet. Nobody knows how it works. It's fucking
Blab problems.
It's Blab. It's fucking pixie dust and voodoo spells. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, that's the button scene at the end. I just finished explaining.
So it's all about Negan.
Yeah, a little bit.
Negan owns all their shit. So now they're introducing like another big bad amongst all these other fucking storylines.
So it's like a third faction, like Negan's group, the Saviors, potentially.
Just when they get rid of
Wolfgang or whatever the hell it is, and then Rick's
the Wolves. Yep. Yeah. Yep. And there's gonna be Blab Lives Matter. Hey, Ricky Prime, how's it going? And that's how the book is like. So hopefully there's a bunch of communities and a bunch of factions which could enrich the world and make it interesting if handled well, and I think they will. Did you catch some of the Easter eggs, Ruggs? Do you know in the beginning that kids' toys they showed as mini mates, and they were Invincible, Robert Kirkman's other comic book.
Oh yeah, I did notice that they were Image characters. That there was like a Savage Dragon.
Yeah, they were like mini mates. Maybe. And then he was. I like what he was drawing. Did you notice what Sam was drawing was the story Carol told him to scare the shit out of him by being tied to a tree and being eaten alive, like that other episode?
He's fucked up, that kid.
Dude, that kid.
Oh, I gotta rewatch that. Wow,
he ain't gonna make it. Sorry, Sam, you're an asshole. I know you're a kid, but kids can be assholes. Anyways, let's
wait. One question, Imran.
Fuck them. Yes.
Did you know that button scene? Why did they ever even get out of the car? Because there's a line of motorcycles. I know they have guns, but like if you
they could have driven
barricade right through them. Yeah. Why do you get out?
Yeah, now fuck these guys.
They're gonna have to hand over those fucking grenade launchers now, which is disconcerting. Also, once they see that they have grenade launchers.
Yeah, I was a little frustrated.
Well, I just think that that they should just whip out that rocket launcher and just fucking hit them all four of those guys.
Well, where it ended, Abraham could still happen. So.
Yeah, Abraham should get on that shit. Go Rambo style.
Rocket Rambo on them.
Right.
No, I hear a lot of the frustrations, and it's interesting how like the reviews of the show this midseason.
Still very good.
Still a good show, strong. But there's just
they'll fix it.
There's just some problems.
It might be. It's better, I think, upon a binge watch.
Yeah.
It's got to have
especially you're right.
Valleys,
especially these 8 seasons. If you watch it at one sitting. You won't be as fucking frustrated that like nothing. It's just the same shit,
right.
Going back to the same point over and over again. So,
yeah.
All right. We're gonna talk about Supergirl.
Jock and Nerd. Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
All right, gang. We're giving Supergirl another chance, and I appreciate. I was like, look, I want to see Red Tornado. We almost gave up on this goddamn thing. And no.
You like Red Tornado?
He looked like shit.
Dude, like my costume is better than his.
No characterization. Like it was like Red Tornado in Young Justice was awesome. Like he was a mentor. He was kind of cool. I appreciated that they did like the tornado look when he's flying, but wow.
He looked like shit.
Yeah,
but it looked like Power Rangers. It looked way below the pay grade.
He looked like he was wearing
a
cardboard box, and then they tried to paint like red chainmail on it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I have to put a disclaimer. I only watched about 20 minutes of the show, and I had to turn it off.
Oh boy.
Good.
Well, I'll fill you in on the
real man.
Twist.
I don't care, but okay, fill me in.
Hey, it's kind of interesting. But overall, though, okay, so at the very end, what you missed is we find out what the overall arc about the sister's father, Alex Danvers' father, right? You know how he was
missing, killed.
Yeah. He was missing.
Hank Henshaw killed him.
Right. So, but it turns out that him and Hank were sent off to investigate some alien shit, and only Hank returned. Hank was the last person to see their father alive. They went looking.
It's probably where it turned into a cyborg.
Yes, or is he Martian Manhunter? Is the alien they were looking for took his form and killed them both? Took Hank's form and came back and his essence or whatever. I don't know.
Who knows?
Then after that, there's another fucking crazy shit thing where the glass breaks. Kara is bringing a drink to Kat. A glass breaks. And she's bleeding.
Oh, shit.
So they're going to pull like a Peter Parker. She's stressed out. Maybe my powers don't work. I got a mental block. Some kind of bullshit like that.
I don't know. I feel like watching Supergirl, I just don't think she's super.
There's not much.
She's not super enough. She's not. She's like kind of like depowered. Like she struggled to take out that lame ass robot. I mean, it was like
this article.
laughable.
Like everyone seems to love this fucking show,
Yeah,
which
it's
we find
unbelievable.
boggling. We were talking about Anthony.
Because that's the first superhero show a lot of people have seen, or you know what? Like, there's something like I don't understand this. It's like I want it to be light and fun, but it's like I want it to be light and fun in a way, but I don't want it to be stupid.
Yeah.
Where like I cringe when I watch it.
Like Gotham, it's similar. They tried to do a similar thing to get a different audience from superhero. But like if you remember, I remember when you watch Gotham, I go, what the fuck, Gotham? But it's fucking entertaining and drives me crazy. When I watch this show, I'm like, this is fucking stupid, cheesy, saccharine bullshit. Like every episode is like an emotional lesson of the week. That's what this article was talking about. And she liked that. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. This isn't a PBS fucking Sesame Street show. Like this issue was like, this week was like controlling your anger. Don't lose your temper. And then every day, and it's, I don't know. I like it.
See, I skip through the commercials, but are there tampon commercials running on this?
Well, somebody like watch the commercials. I can barely watch the fucking show.
Yeah,
I want to just say that.
Skip it. Go ahead.
Literally, the beginning of this episode was pissed me off right away. Right away, she stops some road rage. Okay, so already road rage. She stops it, twists some guy's hand, and they catch it on camera. And he's like, "You're hurting me." The next scene, Henry Henshaw is like, "You got to control your anger. What are you doing? Road rage?" Like they're literally hitting you over the head with this show is about anger and controlling your anger. Like it's so fucking heavy-handed. Like there's nothing subtle about the show. And the lesson of the week stuff that you had mentioned, Imran, is terrible. Like it's so. I feel like I'm like they're teaching me as if I'm a child. Like I don't feel like the way they treat the audience is very childlike. Like I'm almost watching a kid's show, except it's real life.
That's why it's called spoon feeding. People. Yeah, there you go. That's why it's called spoon feeding. Now you talk about heavy-handed.
Yeah,
Cat Grant's mom, like, way to bash the feminism more. She's like, oh, a girl. She's like, I would prefer male.
Yeah, again.
Oh, fuck off. We get it already. What are you doing? And then General Lane's lines where like he's yelling at her, like she gets mad. So occasionally the show makes me go, oh shit, which was that one scene at the end where she just kind of lets go and she's blasting him with all of her X-ray vision. And it's almost reminiscent of Man of Steel, which is not necessarily a good thing. But she was intense. You could see veins popping out. I was like, God damn, that's pretty intense. But that was the actual explosion of Red Tornado looked fucking horrible. Like he just like disappeared into nothing. Oh my God. Like,
it was bad.
And General Lane has really bad dialogue. Like she breaks him. He goes rogue. And then he blames her. He goes, great. You just set an evil rogue android loose on the city. Yeah. Oh my God, people. Really with this?
Yeah, it's like first they want her to help, want her to fight the thing, then she fights the thing and they're mad at her. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What's going on? Who's writing this shit?
He's kind of like the Vision equivalent in the DC universe, and he could be a really cool character, and they just fucking they blew it. You blew it.
He looked bad.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think about? I don't know. Are we gonna
stopping reviewing it?
I have no idea.
Like, do you think? Okay, is it gonna get better?
Well,
I mean, we've given it how many? Look, we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. All right, where it took a year for it to get good, but I don't even. They just approved like 7 more episodes.
So that means we may see that Flash crossover. I'm definitely gonna watch to see how that's handled. Like that's interesting, but I don't.
But like, this is the thing. There was such a backlash on S.H.I.E.L.D. People were like fucking screaming about S.H.I.E.L.D. sucking, and all these reviews for Supergirl are like raving about it. So they're not gonna change shit.
Exactly. If they are going by the reviews of this show, they're gonna be like, "We're doing great. Let's keep going and not work on making it better." So I don't know. We'll decide next week after we see another episode that we may have to drop this shit. But Anthony,
hey, how's it going?
You the other show that's on that we stopped talking about on Mondays is Gotham.
Yeah, I had a question,
and I'm still watching it. Ruggs, did you watch last week's Gotham? That was also.
I have a quick question. I was on Twitter, I think on our feed, and I saw Gordon, his partner. I forgot his partner's name. Alfred Bullock. Yeah, Alfred
Bullock,
Penguin, Catwoman, and a bunch of thugs. And it said, "This is when your squad rolls up." And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So, guys, what the fuck's going on over there?
You want to explain, Ruggs?
if I can remember correctly, let me give it a shot. Yeah, I know you help me. Okay, so there's a big bad that you don't know who he is.
Yeah, I know about Galavan.
You don't watch Galavan. Yeah. So if they finally get to Galavan, and actually Gordon shoots him. All right, what happens is Gordon gets captured by Galavan. And the Penguin comes to his rescue, and then they both take him to the river, and then the Penguin beats the shit out of him with an umbrella.
What happens is Galavan, he reveals himself to be Dumas. His real name is Dumas, and the plan is to kill 9 dudes and to kill the son of Gotham. So they kidnap Bruce. Galavan has Bruce in the tower, and he's about to kill them. This is the point where you see the squad, because Penguin and Riddler and Gordon and Alfred, they all team up. Selina's there.
Riddler's there too?
Riddler didn't join them, but they're like roomies. Penguin and Riddler are roommates. So Gordon wakes up from being knocked out, and he sees Penguin and Riddler. He's like, what the hell is going on here? And Riddler's full fucking Tyler Durden now. But this group, because Penguin wants Galavan.
He wants some why. Okay, I heard Galavan killed his mom.
Yes, that's why Galavan
killed his mom.
Actually, Tabitha killed his mom while he was
why does he have Bruce Wayne?
Because this is to bring Gotham back into Saint Dumas family, some prophecy. He has to kill the last Wayne son of Gotham.
They gotta
got it.
So,
but
here's
the
the
gotta wipe the
thing.
Waynes out.
This is what I just understand.
That's
so then you get that they're arming up. They got their guns. Selina's there. Penguin's there. Everybody's there. They're marching towards the tower. That's when you see that shot. Now, when it cuts to the reverse shot of them walking down the street, you see Galavan's tower, and it's like fucking 30 blocks away. He's about to kill fucking Bruce Wayne, and they're walking to this tower that's like 3 miles down. What? How about you grab an Uber, you fuckers? This time is of the essence. Why are you walking to go save Bruce?
Maybe they're waiting for a bus to roll up.
Okay, that's cool, but that fucking tower is way over there. You're never gonna get. And of course, they get there in time and
save Bruce.
And so
they
save Bruce. Gordon's a wanted man. He gets away with Galavan with the Penguin. Penguin beats the shit out of him, and Gordon fucking shoots him in the head in cold blood, dude, like a murderer. Like these characterizations are all over the place. Like this is not Jim Gordon. I don't know who this is.
The only reason I brought that up is I thought that looked interesting, and it almost made me want to watch that specific episode.
You didn't fucking miss anything.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Well, I enjoy it though. I don't get. I mean, I think it's like canon or any of that stuff. No, it's completely a huge mess. It's a fucking mess upon a mess, but it's fun to watch. It's fun. It doesn't have the problem that other shows have, like where you're just like waiting for shit. Always happens.
That's one thing you forgot them. And Ruggs, I'm with you. I love watching it because it's entertaining. I don't give a fuck what they do. Just bring it on. It's wacky. They've broken me down, and it's just enjoyable. So.
Yeah, now you know what it is. You can watch
the first arc of the Rise of the Villains. There's another kind of cool reveal at the end. They get to the Indian Hill facility where they've been keeping all of these people, and they drop Professor Strange is there, and he has Galvan. Hugo Strange is testing on people, and apparently someone said that they may have seen Fish Mooney in a tank with like fish gills in this scene. I didn't see that. But here's the big thing. At the end, we meet fucking Freeze, dude. This guy's running, and Freeze chases him down. The screen ices over. They show the Gotham logo, and it's all iced, and the water ices. And so we're going to get to meet Mr. Freeze when the season comes back. So I don't know. It's fun to watch. It's still, despite it being the tone being all over the place and the mess that it is, and the characterization's off, it's like way more entertaining than Supergirl.
Yeah, the character, everything's bad about Gotham, Supergirl, but it's fun to watch for me.
Supergirl does nothing for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Move it on, people.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
All right.
What are we doing? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, we're gonna do
Did we mention to the audience that we're spoiling this shit?
Oh yeah, right here.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Hey guys, this is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Thanks for joining us on Blab. If you stick around to the end of the show, we'd like to open up the seat and geek out with whatever you guys want to geek out about. It's lots of fun. Rug Boy gives great advice. But right now, we are going to talk about this week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Season 3, Episode 9, called Closure, not the mid-season finale. I think that's next week.
It is.
I believe.
Yep.
But holy crap, dude. Okay, so what an open. What a fucking open for this show. Coulson and Roz are having a little dinner date and they're eating burgers and you really you start to feel for them. And then
oh shit,
fucking shot through the neck Rosalind from Ward, dude, from way in the distance.
That was way far away.
That was way, and he even made a comment. He was like, man, I haven't done that. Yeah. I think he was still in Gotham shooting in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was 2 shows ago.
That was a good scene though. That worked in terms of shock value and you were just starting to kind of like Rosalind a little bit, and then they killed her off. I thought that worked really well.
Yeah, Coulson was last episode, he was like, I'm gonna have to dump this bitch and kill her, and then he's like, oh, I can still fuck her and not feel guilty because she's on the right side. So he's about to seal the deal. He got burgers. That she's giving him the eyes, okay, after I eat this burger, I'm gonna eat your burger. And then
every time it was too good. It was too good. Things were too good. But what a way to start the show. Ward makes it instantly personal with Coulson, and then it's on, dude. He sends other guys to shoot him, and Phil fucking shoots his way out, and he is pissed.
That whole scene with her getting shot and then the agents coming to kill Coulson, I thought it really worked well in terms of showing his anger and still showing he's an awesome spy and has very great ingenuity and can kind of figure out his way out of a tough situation. I thought that all worked really well.
But that's the thing. If Ward had, Rosalind in his crosshairs, why didn't he take,
he wants him to suffer.
Coulson
he wants him to suffer. He wants him to feel what he feels when he lost Agent 35 or whatever her name was.
So he knows when he sends in these guys to kill Coulson.
That's what he said. He did say that he thought he was just going to put him through the ringer a little bit.
Yeah. He's like, I'm putting him through his paces, kind of wearing him out. But he even calls up and goes, look, now you know how it feels to have your loved one bleed out while you hold her. And I was like, oh shit, damn, dude. He's and Phil put a beat down on these dudes, dude. What? That was a great fight scene with Clark Gregg. It seemed very substantial. And then Mac comes in with the save, finally gets him out of there. And Coulson's all like, I'm getting Ward. Fuck it.
Yeah, Coulson gets a lot of action in this show. He has to kick ass a lot. Hand. Remember he was fighting. Well, no, even before he got the hand, he was always fighting.
No, he was. He was fighting those agents that came in, the Hydra agents, and this was a very Coulson heavy episode, and a lot of him kind of. It was good in that Coulson and Ward were both basically two sides of a coin. They kept phrasing that. They kept saying that, beating that over your head. Because Coulson was kind of like this cool, calculated guy that got really angry, and Ward starts out as this really angry guy that becomes really calculated by the end.
Well, I love how Daisy is also he kills not because he doesn't feel anything, but because he feels too much, which kind of helps him.
The interrogation stuff was great too. When he's reinterrogating the team.
I love how they tied all the stuff from the first 2 seasons back. You really had to watch the show from the beginning to get the full effect of all those stories of him and his brother and what he did to his parents and his other older, shittier brother.
It's still weird though that him
it all ties together.
Well, yeah, and she kind of explains that. She goes, he was broken.
We're both broken. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And he fucking played him. And still, throughout the whole episode, I still don't know if Ward's playing everyone. You can't, it's so hard to get a read on him. I love that.
I agree.
Yeah, it makes it difficult to think any of his relationships are real. Even with the Agent 30, whatever her name is. I don't know if he was actually playing her or actually in love with her. And I still don't believe that he was actually in love with her. I think that he's using it.
And you still don't believe, even though he kind of leads them into the portal to the next world, you still don't even know if he's fully on board with what Malik's thinking. I mean, it seems like he is, but he could be still after his own agenda out there too.
I don't think he's into taking orders.
That was interesting, though, that Malik kind of
talked
him into leading the team, because Malik was like, dude, your vendetta is stupid. Let's move forward. He goes, I'm not about revenge.
Big. Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, I want you to lead. I mean, he talked him into leading the team into the portal, which I was surprised.
That planet's Maveth.
So yeah, Fitz says the planet's name, Maveth. And I think that's from, that's canon, right? That's from the Marvel comic book universe, Planet Maveth.
Is it? I can look it up.
Is it Mavis, Jay Leno's wife?
I'm Mavis. Nice to meet you.
I don't know if it is canon. Canon. I threw Mavis in the Wikipedia and it didn't work. Nothing happened.
Well, we know where they're going. They got Fitz and Simmons because they.
Okay, can we talk about that real quick?
Yes.
When they're torturing Simmons, I wrote this in my notes. Yeah. When they're torturing Simmons, you hear her screaming a lot, and then she comes out with like a scratch on her face. I was like, it's not that believable. They were actually torturing. Yeah, you hear her like screaming in pain, like they're like taking off each of her like digits or something, and then she comes back and she just has like a scratch on her face.
Nah, they made her listen to Justin Bieber.
It was just an Indian rug burn, a really severe Indian rug burn. That's all the guy could do. I mean, that Asian, I like that. The Asian Inhuman dude, he's fucking badass. Like
he's the guy that hosts He hosts a show on the Food Network.
Oh, he is that the same guy?
Yeah, it's the
the Iron Chef. That's the
Iron Chef. Yeah,
Iron Chef guy.
Yeah, it's the host.
Who knew the Iron? I've never seen him levitate shit on that show though. That's weird. That's how he.
No, that's Mark Dacascos. He's actually like a good martial
artist. Of films, yeah.
Yeah, he's great, dude, and he plays.
He is Iron Chef host too.
Wow, he is I didn't know where I saw him from. That's so funny. He's the fucking Iron Chef.
He's from The Crow, the TV show. Remember there was a really bad Crow TV show for a while.
I remember that. I forgot about that.
He's been in a lot of martial arts movies. He was in Mortal Kombat.
He's badass, dude. And
Cradle to the Grave.
Oh, that's who was that? The rapper? There's a rapper in that one.
DMX.
The DMX
Gen Lead.
He was in a movie. He was in a movie with Dwayne Wayne that was fucking, and he did karate in this movie. Right. I think it was called Drive. You're
absolutely right. He was in it. Yeah.
Yes. And he did some sick karate in that shit. Like, look up a YouTube clip of that.
Gosling.
He was fucking.
That's a different Drive. It's Drive. You're not incorrect. It's just a different one.
Okay. They should think of different names for movies. But Kadeem Hardison. Okay. What the fuck were we talking about?
Dude, I'm
telling you, YouTube that shit.
Dacascos. And how he's a great Inhuman.
And he's gonna. I hope they use it more. Yeah, that's a great power.
He's like 50. I don't know. He's a little fuck.
Things and shoot things. So we find out to stop torturing Simmons, Fitz volunteers to go through with them, and then in the meantime, Coulson he thinks he's going to Ward, and then finds out they use his brother. That was good, dude. I really like that the phone call with the brother was maybe the one time Ward is sincere ever. Like he got to him.
Well, he was still kind of lying to his, or like fudging the truth with his brother too about the way things played out in their lives.
Well, but maybe he's just. I think like he's a fucking sociopath. Like I think he believes that. Like he's.
You think he is?
I love that.
Yeah, he's definitely no fake.
He is a sociopath.
The brother's just like, no, you fucking psycho. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Like, what the fuck? You killed my brother and my parents, you fucking maniac. And he goes, but I did it for you. No, he doesn't say that. But so they're flying over. And so this is what I didn't get. Like, apparently Coulson is going another direction, and he sends Fitz and Simmons into this trap, pretty much, into this ambush. How do they? And then he ends up directly above them where there's an open window and a straight shot that he hits at the exact moment that the portal is closing, and then probably knocks himself out on a rock on Maveth on the other side. But whatever, dude, that was a little bit of a stretch there, you guys.
A little bit? That might have been, although overall this was a good episode, that might have been the single worst moment in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. history. For him to jump out of a plane and land into that was awful.
Contrived.
What were you saying,
He
Rug
must
Boy?
be-
That was what?
It was
Oh my
very-
God.
very-
It was contrived. It was just like way too
No
like
way.
What?
no, like
One
no
in
fucking way.
a bazillion trillion that ever happens. That you jump out of a plane and land in a portal like that.
Like Captain America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
would
but
pull that
even
shit
still,
off.
then
Maybe.
like he needs a map and he needs a.
And even then, you'd
It's
be
like,
like,
you
"That's a
tried.
little
Yeah,
bit
or-
crazy."
I mean,
I
that's
thought the flying car was the worst thing they've ever done, and no, him jumping into a portal through a plane at the exact moment as it's about to close is the worst thing they've done.
I missed the flying car, but
Yeah, and he hit that portal like a turd. He went,
Well, the
Like,
portal
not even
is
a
basically
splash.
like goopy turd once it like it's like diarrhea.
Yeah.
Like once it like gets
Yeah, you just
formed
go
and
there.
whatever, and he just jumped
Well,
right in
yeah.
the toilet bowl. That was awful.
yeah,
Like, you're
Well.
right, dude. That's a Captain America move. There's no way in fuck Coulson should be able to pull that off. What'd you guys think of him leaving Mac in
Yeah.
charge? Part of me was like yelling at Mac. I'd be like, "Fucking man up and make a decision." God
He
damn it.
does.
like
Yeah.
Mac looked actually
That's what
nervous.
does.
He was like, "Oh,
puts
I liked
shit."
it.
He goes, yeah. He gets Lincoln and Gutierrez. He's like, "You guys are going in. Let's go."
He was. What's cool about that is he was the guy that was kind of against Inhumans to start, and kind of like
Yeah.
afraid of all this stuff. And then he's the guy that is like, you know what, we got to make a tough call. Let's get
He's
let's get
still
the
the
Secret
by the
Warriors
book-
together.
Yeah, he's still the by the books guy. I liked how Coulson was like, "We're doing this off books, Mac. You were in charge." Like, so there's that still. He's kind of by the book, and there's that still tension between him and Coulson, which is nice. But I thought Mac stepped up and did a good job.
He had a good pep talk too. It was like either
Yeah.
we do this or I forgot the line. But it's like either we do this or people die. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I thought it
So
was
I
solid.
guess they, I guess so.
Return
Coming,
of the
like
Mac.
next episode, you see them on the planet. They said that they have 12. They know it's 12 hours. They have a 12-hour window to come back and pick them up or something.
Does anyone
so-
know who they think that Inhuman's going to be? That's probably going to be somebody, right?
it's
gonna be Negan.
I saw a lot of stuff online that
always
people
Negan.
were rooting for Ward to become the Taskmaster.
It's gonna be Zoom, dude. The Taskmaster. Huh. What if
Yeah,
it's Thane?
Ward.
What if they make it Thanos' son Thane? That'd be kind
That's
of.
possible, very possible.
Jordan of the Bunch says
Thane?
Inhumans still happening. I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Late,
Rug,
like
Rug Boy
2020.
Rug Boy said Thane as if he didn't know who that was. So that's Thanos' son. That he has like one hand that can like just destroy everything, and then the other hand he can like freeze everything so that everyone becomes like living death, so they don't move but they're still alive.
No,
Two
you don't.
powers I
But,
do not
but
want.
And he's like
I want to either kill
he's
everything
an
or
inhuman.
make everything almost
he's
dead.
a crossbreed between an inhuman and whatever Thanos is, like an Eternal or whatever the fuck Thanos is.
oh, he's a Titan. Thanos is
Titan,
a
yeah,
Titan.
he's a part Titan, part Inhuman.
No, that's a crazy mix.
Well, I don't like
I don't
that.
know who.
I don't like
I don't
Thane.
know who this.
Fuck Thane.
And I don't even know if
That's
we're
gonna
gonna
be
find
somebody,
out.
right?
Really? Is it? Or are they gonna just make up some fucking dude for this? I
don't know,
hope
they
it's
built
someone.
this guy up.
Yeah. He's got a shroudy kind of thing. It could be that dude from the Cabal. I don't know. I hope it's someone. We'll find out next week.
Good plug.
Yeah, but no, good solid episode, man. I just I want to see what happens.
Is there like a list of human bad guys that we can look at and see like
it could be,
deduce?
what if it's Maximus? No, see, those are the big guys they're gonna say for the movie.
Yeah, they're saving those guys for the movie.
You gotta look at like the B list Inhuman bad guys.
B and C list.
And C
I do.
list.
I do want to throw in that although this episode was good, again, not to harp on it, but Coulson diving into that poo poo pit is might be almost ruined this episode for me.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
how
was-
that was really bad, like
I
really
agree.
really bad.
I agree. It's supposed to make him look badass, but it
It
makes
was
him look
ass.
like
It makes the
people
whole
that
show look
just went in
amateur,
with toilet.
in my opinion.
It's just like bloop. He just went in bloop.
Nah, I mean that's the thing. Last episode was so great that anything that comes after it's gonna seem shitty.
I'm just
But
saying
yeah,
that scene.
that
Yeah,
The
impossible
fuck, they
thing.
couldn't figure out a better way to get him
Yeah,
there, or why does he have to be there? Plus, he's
well, he
knocked
could have
out
like,
now.
well, he could have like landed, like parachuted in, and then like infiltrated his way into the castle and jumped in at the last minute. That would have been believable. But for him to
That's
jump,
true.
I mean, jump off a plane and jump in there at
Yeah,
the
that was
exact
cra-
time.
That was crazy. That was a little nuts. All right. Well, we got.
I mean, I've
that
seen
was almost
crazier
Gotham-
shit, but
Gotham
yeah.
contrived a little bit. Slipping into that
Yeah.
territory. Let's hope that it pays off next week. All right, guys, let's talk about this fucking awesome crossover that CWDC gave us this week.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Prepare to be spoiled!
All right, gang. Thanks for joining. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. We're going to talk about, well, we're going to kind of combine it. Let's start with the Flash side. This week, Flash and Arrow had an awesome two-part crossover to help set up Legends of Tomorrow. So on the Flash side, this is episode 8, season 2, called Legends of Today. Very clever titles. And this part, man,
Yes.
They had a lot of fucking concepts to set up, a lot of crazy shit to try to explain. And some of it, a lot of it worked. Some of it was like, okay, I'll see where it goes. But man, for them to have to explain everything from immortals to ancient Egyptian reincarnating priestesses to like people with wings, it was nuts, but it was a lot of fun, dude. It was a lot of fun. You feel when these guys get together, you can feel the fun they have on set. Team Arrow and Team Flash, just the actors, the chemistry that the actors have themselves is lots of fun.
The producers and the writers have you can see, like you said, when they put all these characters in the room, it's almost like they do these random pairings of these characters just to see how the fun in their interactions. So you can tell everybody is having a ton of fun on set when they have 9-10 heroes together.
Everybody, and everybody kills it, man. Barry had a lot of great lines. Cisco had a lot of great lines.
Cisco's great. Who said that? Since when did our lives become an Indiana Jones movie?
That was Cisco.
Cisco. Yeah.
They had an Indiana Jones reference in both shows. There was another one where he says something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
The crystal skulls.
That's the only thing I understood. So in this show, basically, how do they set it up? Savage shows up off a boat, fucking kills everyone. He's looking for Hawkgirl. The
setup was a little clunky. I'm going to agree with Ruggs.
I don't like
Savage. Let's talk about Savage. What's your beef with Savage, Ruggs?
You're creating the fucking arch enemy that's going to be in the brand new show, like the main guy that the Legends of Tomorrow are going to be after, and he seems a little bit not cool. Like I don't like him at all. I don't feel like he's threatening. I feel like no, I don't like him. He doesn't seem.
That's what I was going to say.
Like intense enough.
The setup to them getting together, like it was kind of clunky in that like Vandal Savage hasn't really been built up as a threat to anything. So for Flash to immediately be like, you know what, I'm not going to call Arrow's help against Zoom. I'm going to call for Arrow's help against that regular dude over there. Like you don't even know that he's an immortal at that point. He's just like something feels off about him. There's some sort of magic.
He's not a metahuman.
But he hasn't done anything yet. All he did was kill. Right.
Yeah, there wasn't anything magical about him at that point yet.
So I love some of the stuff I love in this episode is in the beginning after they go to Star City and they're trying to hide Kendra. They're like, hey, let's all go hang out and have some cocktails while this fucking lunatic is out looking for us. Let's get a little tipsy. And they all hang out, they have drinks, and it's lots of fun. And then is this when then Savage crashes in out of nowhere. Now how high up are they? How the fuck did he get there? What did he just fly in? Like that's pretty impressive. Like they're up in a building, high skyrise apartment.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of weird. And I again going back to Vandal, I thought he would be a little bit more of a physically imposing character. Even the way he speaks is kind of strange, and I don't know. I didn't find Vandal to be that.
He doesn't command any kind of like Zoom. Like you can't see his face, but he's menacing. Maybe it's the suit or whatever. But Vandal is not menacing in any way. And not only that, but I thought the whole reason for him to go to be looking for that staff, like why would it be in Central City of all places? Like his fucking crazy Egyptian.
Yeah.
He's looking for the staff of Wars.
It just happened to be. Well, and that's what, but Kendra kept saying like she was drawn to Central City also. So I don't know what that connection is there.
I'd like to preface too that although I did like this episode, like Imran said, I found it fun, but when you dig into like why the teams got together and who the main villain was, Vandal doesn't have a lot of physical charisma. in terms of size or anything. Like not a lot of screen presence. So I always imagine Vandal when you see the animated shorts and TV series. Like he's this very like impressive guy that like he walks in the room and people are like, who the hell's that guy?
Like,
you
more
know,
presence,
like,
bigger, broader.
When this asshole walks into the room, you're like, who the hell's that homeless guy? Like what the hell?
This douchebag.
Yeah.
I love how fucking Kendra just learns everyone's secret identity like in a matter of minutes. Like nobody gives a fuck about protecting their secret identity anymore. Actually, Cisco blows Barry's. Cisco goes, "Thanks, Barry," and Barry's like, "Dude, come on!" Like right in front of her, and then she gets to meet fucking who the Green Arrow is, which is pretty funny. I like how she goes for air, and then here's how we meet Hawkman. She's out going for air, and she just gets snatched off the ground. Like right after Cisco's like, I'm feeling a little bit normal every day. And then she gets snatched out of the ground. And this guy's kind of a dick. I kind of liked Hawkman because he was kind of a douche. Because like I think the Hawkman is kind of a douche. So for them, they have to explain, like, I think the Hawk people have like the most convoluted fucking backstory in the DCU. Like it's for them to kind of establish this and to get out the information that they're a reincarnated priestess, they're going this Egyptian priest route. I thought that was impressive because if you actually try to look up like their origin and the history of the Hawk people, it is so convoluted, dude. I couldn't even do it.
Yeah, they're talking about aliens, they're talking about Egyptians, it's all this shit. So they have it set up now that they're this reincarnating duo that from Egypt always reincarnates to fight against.
There's also like
Vandal Savage.
There's also in comic book canon, there's a Thanagar planet where these guys are like kind of police. So it's very, very convoluted when it comes to Hawkgirl and the Hawkman. But I also wanted to point out in this episode she like kind of learns how to fly or whatever. A lot of it was Legends of Tomorrow setup, and I thought they tried to make it into this big moment where Hawkgirl learns how to fly, but I didn't feel like we've spent enough time with that character to really care if she's flying or not. It was cool, but like it wasn't like, oh man, we just met this character. And they built it up as like she's gaining her wings, she's learning how to fly. Oh my gosh. And it's like
she wasn't really that super charming that you could, she needed
her acting's a little off too.
Time.
Yeah.
She needed a little more time.
I'm not really in love with that actress either. I feel like their casting has been
weird. They need a bunch of fucking people to fill all these fucking goddamn roles.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the guy who plays Hawkman doesn't seem right. The guy who seems Vandal Savage doesn't seem right. She's okay, whatever. I mean, like, but
so they have to do fun things where Kendra remembers ancient Egypt. And apparently, in this ancient Egypt, everyone is white and they speak English. So
I threw that in my notes, too.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
I was like, yay, white Egyptians. I think that was an arrow, but this stuff crosses over. This episode was basically a 2-hour episode.
Yeah, white Egyptians. We gotta love the white Egyptians.
I mean, don't you think that there was white Egyptians,
like Caucasian Egyptians? I mean, they would have looked like.
Yeah, because Rome had spread throughout all over the world.
They might have had like had Romans trying to like trade, and maybe some of them might have slept with Egyptians, but I don't think.
No, but the Etruscans, the early Romans, and the Greeks are all over the place. They were fucking conquering.
I just feel like it's so sunny over. Like they would have been tanned at least. They wouldn't have been straight.
Oh yeah, they should at least have had a base.
Coat. Man, there's so many things. Like I love the little bits with like where Cisco and Felicity, like where they missed a high five. There's like lots of little cute moments like that. Every time when Malcolm was it in this episode when Malcolm shows up and Barry's like, is that the only way he knows how to fucking come in a room, or was that in the Arrow? See it all.
I think this was this one. That was in this episode because this episode was Flash. It was even though it was labeled Flash, most of it occurred in Star City. It was mostly in
it was nice.
Ollie's lair, and this is one of my points too. And it was a Flash episode, but they introduced the fact that Ollie had a kid in this one.
Yeah.
Just like in the next episode, they introduced a Flash storyline in that one. So they kind of like flipped the episodes around. It's Flash and name only. It was more Arrow focused than it was Flash.
I like how they flipped it. You're right, because they had to go for him to help. So we find out that for 4,000 years, Vandal Savage has been killing these two over and over and over again.
Did you do the math on that?
No, he says 4,000 years. He's killed them 206 times. What
I
does that
did the math on that. That means it doesn't make any fucking sense because it means that he's been killing them every 19 years. And does Kendra or Carter look 19 years old ever?
Every 19 years he would be killing them?
Yep.
Over 4,000
Do the math.
years.
4,000 divided by 206 is 19 years old.
Oh, I didn't actually.
Math
I don't
did not
do
add
that,
up.
So.
It didn't.
That's why we
It
have the
doesn't make any
job.
sense.
Maybe they rounded
To 20?
Maybe they rounded
It's
up.
like about 206 times.
I kill you every time you're 20 years old, even though Carter looks like he's about 35. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It was like a
I
weird
didn't
number.
Yeah, I did
It was a
not.
weird number, and then Carter's like, this is like what made Carter unlikable. He kept being like, "I'm gonna make the plans for this. I'm gonna be one of the training." I'm like, "Hey, asshole, you've died 200. You failed 206 times. Maybe you let someone else do it this time."
I know.
Huh?
That's a good
Huh?
point. It never worked.
It never works. Why are you the head trainer of this chick? You
And
suck.
every time he's like, "Look, usually I make the plans," and like, "Yeah, dude, that's what I wanted to
And
know.
where
Where
did
the
the
fuck
suits
did
come
that
from?
box?" No, he's just shows. They get to that farmhouse,
Oh yeah.
and he just has a box with the costumes. Where the fuck did the box with the costumes come from? Also,
Yeah.
Where's the
where
mace?
do their wings go when they retract them? Do they just where do they go?
Magic.
Oh,
They're
they're
magic
forest
wings.
They're
They're made
Egyptian magic wings, so they just magically.
Yeah,
I get
Popcats.
it.
They're
has
made
a
of
nice
horse.
reference over there.
It is.
Did you see
They
that?
go to the Avengers farmhouse to see Hawkeye.
Thea makes that joke. That's an
Wait,
arrow
what-
where she makes that
what it-
reference.
What does she say?
So they pull. This is an arrow, but it's just crossing over. Whatever. This is an arrow, and they're pulling up to the farmhouse in Central City. And Thea
Right.
goes, "A bunch of superheroes in a farmhouse. Feel like I've seen that in a movie before."
Oh shit! I totally missed that. That's pretty good. That's great.
She totally references Avengers.
And the whole thing with her emerging was also kind of like really rushed. I thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious how Carter's like, "Well, this should work," and he just pushes her off the building. He goes, "Yeah, it should," and then he's like, "I think her powers are blocked." Like he didn't even know if it was gonna work. That was funny.
Carter's a dick.
He's a
Carter
dick,
sucks.
dude. I kind of like that he's a dick though. That's kind of funny. And
Maybe he does
I
this
think
every
that's
time.
what-
He pushes
yeah,
her
that's
off
probably
something
what he's
every
like, I
time.
don't know, I just gotta push you off a building and then we'll fucking get on with our lives.
Prince Khufu sucks.
So the other
Um,
storyline running through this though is Jay Garrick returns. Wells too is trying to work on a speed drug called Velocity 6, which actually in the comics there's something called Velocity 9.
Velocity 9. Yeah.
So and Caitlin, being the biophysicist, helps him with the other kind of science. And unfortunately, no one has told Patty Spivot anything. So of course, when she sees Wells in the car, she freaks out and she fucking pops him.
Oh shit.
And now they're gonna have to tell her fucking everything. I thought he was gonna tell her, and Joe's like, "Patty, you gotta go." And Jay fucking vibrates through his chest with the speed drug and pulls the fucking bullet out, which was kind of a neat trick. But Jay's kind of a dick. Why doesn't he fucking help them? I don't understand. No, he just.
I thought he went back to his
remember
world.
He's out
I
like
didn't-
he's like going to the zoo and checking out art museums. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's like, let me check out the
He's
fucking
at
brothels in
Starbucks.
this universe, see what that's like.
Jay kind of sucks right now
Getting
too.
free
I don't know
Wi-Fi.
why they've written him
Yeah.
like this too.
He's kind of a dick. Like, just fucking help him so we can.
Yeah,
all
and he
move forward.
keeps being like, "Don't do this, don't do this," but then like, stay around and help. Well, then why don't you tell them what to do instead of fucking leaving all the time and hanging out at, as Imran said, the fucking local brothel? Like, hang
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Falcon Flash,
ridiculous.
Falcon
Falcon
Flash has
Flash.
been completely useless. Maybe he'll get his speed back and he'll be able to help with this drug. But I think wasn't Wells too still dying at the end of this? Like he was still in a coma. Or
No, he was
something?
good, but he was
He was
the.
good.
But if Jay was just like, "Don't use that shit on them. Don't use the
Oh,
velocity
that's
stuff."
Right. That's right. The speed.
But this episode, we also find out, or we also at least get a hint, which we find out is confirmed in Arrow, that Ollie's son is still alive with that chick.
Yeah, so at the end, you see that he runs into a kid, and it's funny how Ollie's kid loves the Flash. I loved how Oliver was like looking at all the Flash shit, and he's like, "What is this?" He's like,
Yeah.
"You got a
He's not
coffee
used to
named
it.
after you, and a burger, and toys." Barry's like, "Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. What do you got?"
He's like, yeah.
Pop
I'm the
Pop
Flash.
Podcast says he has a lightning bolt
You're
up
the
his
asshole.
ass. Jay is just butthurt that he has no powers. Yeah, I think he's a little jealous. He misses the speed force. Well, his powers don't even come from the speed force, but he just
Let's
misses.
get into Arrow and run.
Let's just go. Should I play? I'll play this.
Jock and Nerd
So
We've
the
already been
Squirrels-
kind of crossing over with shit, Flash and Arrow, and it's kind of hard to tell what happened in what. So
Yeah,
let's just
what-
jump into Arrow, and it's full spoilers, just like Flash and all the other shit we spoiled.
Oh
So-
yeah, let me hit this.
Let's spoil some shit, Batman.
I did kind of enjoy, like, this is like a fun, like, hour 45 movie with all these heroes. Like, if you
I like
watch it,
the second half better. I liked Arrow's.
Oh
part
yeah,
better. Yeah.
okay. Why we learn more about Kendra in the beginning? She starts remembering, and this is where we get into like
White
their
Egyptians.
origin. Yeah, white
And Lucy
Egyptians, and why Savage is after them. And this is where the box of costumes kind of pops up out of nowhere. They're warrior priests.
This is also where now, like I mentioned in Flash, you got a hint of an Arrow storyline. This is where in Arrow you got a hint of a Flash storyline because you're
Holy
seeing
shit,
Barry.
yeah.
You're seeing Barry run, and he sees himself again. And it's like,
That was great.
oh shit!
That was
Do you think that was like a weak plot point that they
it's
did that?
It's a very
Did they use the
like this
speed?
is
I
the
hope there's
second time.
ramifications from it. I hope there's something that happens because of it,
Yeah.
or I hope it's not just a plot device to erase everything for that episode. Like I hope there's actual consequence to that.
I think the consequence is going to happen in Ollie's decisions that he made the same
Ooh.
both times. I love how he ghosted. He comes back. He goes, dude, we did this. This ain't going to work. Everybody dies. And Oliver's like, all right, okay. And he goes with it. That's cool. He goes, let's try something else. And you see them make different decisions, except for the decision Oliver makes regarding the kid and telling Felicity. He does the same thing. That's
I
not going
hated
to
that.
end well because
I
we
hated
saw the first time around, the first time around, she gets really upset. She finds out on her own.
Hated that too.
Second time around, he doesn't tell her still, but he kind of like brushes it off and softens it. And I'm like, you fucking asshole, dude. You still didn't learn from the first time. What are you doing?
I go ahead. I
He's
hated
a
all of that
pathological
because
liar.
this whole season is about getting rid of all the secrets.
Yeah.
First off, like that mom's an asshole. First off, for not letting him acknowledge that he's his father, the kid's father, William, or what is his name, Matt, whatever.
It's
the fuck the
William.
kid-
It's William.
Okay, and then in the first go around, which really never happened because of the time travel,
Right.
Felicity acts like a jackass. Like, seriously, Ollie's like, can you give me like a minute to like process all this? You're
Right,
like all
right.
over me right now. Something just traumatic happened in my life, and all she's worried about is herself. Like Felicity
Tell
acted
me,
like a
what
jackass.
about me? Yeah. She
Yeah,
was
what
like,
about
"Why
me?"
won't you tell me?
And she turns it into you don't trust me, as if
Yeah.
like this has anything to do with her. Like let the guy fucking breathe. They just found out he had a kid and he can't have a relationship with him. Like that's something that's personal. Like he probably would have told you eventually. Like shut the fuck up.
See, but I don't think he was ever going to tell her because he.
With
I
me or
agree
with
with
Ron? Oh yeah.
No,
I think he was
I-
going to tell her
Anthony.
because he clearly
Well,
doesn't
yeah. The
learn
second go
his
around, he
lesson.
doesn't learn his lesson.
I mean, even though he doesn't know, Barry even tries to tell him. He goes, "Look, I saw this happen, and you guys, it looked like it was over. I think you need to tell her. Just a little friendly advice from a guy who can time travel and has already seen it happen once, huh? How about you listen to that?" But no,
Yeah, but I don't really see a reason not to tell
Well,
her
that's
either.
the-
That's the thing that
Is it the
bothers me.
deal
Like,
he
there's no
made
reason
with the
not to
baby
tell her
mama?
either.
It's the deal he made with the baby mama, but at that point, the baby mama means nothing to you. Tell Felicity. Tell her. Like,
or just
Yeah.
tell her and
Yeah,
tell
why
her not
can't
to
she
tell
know?
anybody.
Like,
just at least let.
she gotta
At
tell.
some point, I was hoping he was gonna be like, "Can I tell one person, just one?" Or I thought he was gonna be like, "Look, you can't tell anyone, but I want you to know because I love you," or whatever the fuck. None of that shit happened. But then Felicity's like, it's over. It doesn't matter. And Felicity's like, oh, okay. Ollie's going at Shunk 3 times
yeah,
way too small.
she took it way too, the lies. She took it like, oh, okay, whatever. He's lying to me. Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Yeah.
Like, she took it like that whole thing was really weird. Like it was kind of touching seeing him play with the kid, his son, and like play action figures. Like I thought that moment was cool, but the rest of that stuff, the setup and the payoff was weird. As people
Yeah,
are just
I
not
don't know.
acting rational.
I don't know where they're going with this kid, with William, with the baby mom.
And I totally thought it would be Connor Hawk. I thought that was
Connor
gonna be
Hawk,
cool.
though, is going to be in Legends of Tomorrow, and it's not
Oh,
Oliver's
okay.
kid.
Got it.
This is a fucking separate thing. So so let's talk about the time jump shit, because that was kind of cool seeing it fucking. The thing is, I felt like you kind of ruined the surprise. The minute you saw him ghost, you're like, get ready. They're going to time jump. This is going to go bad, and he's going to have to redo this. It was fun watching it go bad because Vandal
You see the error in their ways, and you see Vandal kind of become a little bit more badass.
Yeah, like he disintegrated everybody in a wide. The thing grew to the whole city. Everybody died.
Yeah, we got to see Felicity burn. It's good.
Yeah.
I like Felicity,
but then
you
the
know.
second time, I did enjoy like how they tweak things. He goes, this time, Cisco, you go talk to Kendra. And then that got her to remember her origin and the first time they were killed and how to defeat Savage, which is still a little, it was, what was that? It was, they needed the, I like the nth metal.
Nth metal, yeah.
That's cool. That's a great Easter egg.
They synthesized some of the meteorite, the burning rocks or whatever they used to call them, into nth metal.
Because I think that's from the comic books too. In this, the Hawkman.
No, I think the nth metal is actually her mace or his mace. That's the.
I thought it was like okay. I thought it was
the nth metal is what their weapons is made out of.
Weapons are made of. Yeah, it was. They changed it around a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I like that they said nth metal meteorite. And then I like the different decisions. Like Oliver takes the whole team with him the second time, which is awesome. And it was cool to see.
And everyone has a little bit more of a role in defeating Vandal Savage. Again, I guess Vandal carrying like Loki's staff, the Horus thing. I'm gonna call it Loki's staff. Yeah, I guess that made him a little bit more imposing because obviously you saw that he can destroy a whole city. But
my favorite thing about that fight with Vandal Savage, is when the van pulls up, the doors swing open, and then Black Canary comes out and does her scream. And nobody cares.
Nothing happens. Yeah, it doesn't,
like nobody gives a shit.
That's all she
does. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, she does the scream and no one falls over or anything.
Nothing. Shooting, nothing happens. It affects.
Yeah, Vandal Savage just like looks over and goes, "Who cares?"
Like you're fucking useless.
It totally kills like her power too because it already looks stupid when she like opens her mouth and is just like yelling silently and like you just hear like her like neck is glows. But then like when nothing happens because of it, it just makes her look like an idiot. It makes her look like the lamest character ever.
Meanwhile, there's a guy shooting her on one side and a girl with arrows actually doing shit on the other side, and she's just like and, okay,
nothing,
great.
Nothing. Yeah.
Well done. But this time Kendra's powers do work. They get a little bit of surprise on him, and they blast him to a pile of powder.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's not gone, people. He's coming back.
Raz.
And Ra's al Ghul comes in, or whatever, John Barrowman comes in and snorts him.
Dude, yeah, he's like, I think he's gonna sell some of that shit as like, so he's gonna use some of that to step on some of the pure cocaine he's running, and then the rest of it, I think he's gonna try to reincarnate him. Fucking Merlin. Why? Merlin is always fucking things up. But you know what? They need him back for Legends of Tomorrow. So somewhere in somebody's contract that says, yeah, you're gonna be reincarnated.
They should reincarnate him into a different actor.
Maybe they'll reincarnate. Shit.
Oh shit!
They should reincarnate him into someone who looks more badass. I think it's gonna be the same dude, unfortunately.
I think so.
The guy who plays Aquaman is more like the guy who should be the guy.
Yeah. At least that kind of look.
Yeah.
Fucking Malcolm, though. Why? Again, they should just kill him. He's always fucking things up.
Well, he's always out for his own agenda, and he feels like if he does this, he's literally like, Vando, you're going to owe me.
Yeah, I think he did it for like a favor so that he could call in fucking an immortal. What up? And they just, he's just him stepping out of the shadows, though, is hilarious.
I would say that these 2 episodes were fun. Although there was a ton of like stuff there. I was like, what are you talking about here? I think I'm glad that I hope the Legends of Tomorrow build is done after these 2 and that we can get out of that because although it was fun, it was kind of dragging down the 2 storylines. I like that in this crossover, you kind of see the character evolution. So if you remember the first crossover from last year, Ollie was like, we don't get the girls. And then in this crossover, they were like, yeah, I was wrong. You guys, we can get the girls. Like,
yeah, I mean, that scene was interesting where Oliver Bear's like, dude, you're different. What's up? He goes, I'm happy.
And I like that they kind of defer to one another in each other's city. They're like, oh, this is Central City. It's your call. It's Star City. It's your call. Whereas the last episode, the last crossover, they were both kind of at each other's throats with their philosophies and all that stuff. So you see the evolution in their relationship, which I liked a lot.
But I mean, they gotta set all this shit up. And Pop Xcast in the chat says he wasn't happy with the Hawks introductions into the show. It felt very rushed and not well thought out. And
Agreed.
that's been the case with all the episodes that have been trying to set up Legends of Tomorrow. If you think about the Constantine, they're just the things are being shoved in and then come right out. And so Legends of Tomorrow will premiere, put things in Rug Boy's slack hole, and it comes out the other end. Which I don't know where the other end of your slack hole is.
You push it in and you take it out, and then you push it back in again, and then you take it out again, and then you push it back in again.
Legends of Tomorrow, Thursday, January 21st, peoples. Set your DVRs. That's when that fucking shit is starting. And let's get back to the storyline. So I think I don't know if there's an Arrow next week. I know there's a Flash episode.
I think they're both on next week. No, I think so.
Flash is going to be
Flash has the Mark Hamill.
Flash will have Trickster, and Wally West will be introduced next week in the mid-season finale of The Flash, which will be lots of fun and maybe some more Zoom shit. What happened to Zoom? What about Zoom? What's he doing? Does nobody care about
Zooming?
I think, he got, if you remember, he got hit with the power thing that made your powers go away. So
he's recouping.
And he's in Speedster Sandland. He's like, I can't run fast.
Let me read the synopsis for next week's Arrow mid-season finale.
You should read the summary too.
And then tell me what it's about in a couple of sentences.
Yeah. This is
after the city is attacked again, Oliver makes a bold move against Hive. Malcolm checks in on Thea and leaves her with a warning, and things take a horrible turn when Damien Dark retaliates in a brutal manner at Oliver's mayoral party. So someone's gonna die. So there was I was wondering if there was going to be any Arrow flashbacks, and there wasn't any Arrow flashbacks, and there wasn't really any Damien Dark, right? Except for in the beginning of Flash there was.
In the beginning of Flash with that takedown, that armored truck or whatever.
Yep.
Good stuff, dude. Great. I love when they fucking cross over. Hopefully they do another one this season, maybe towards the end will be great. And we're gonna set off Legends of Tomorrow. All right, gang, let's get to the big fucking geek news. We're going to have a lot of fun in this next segment. Stick around. Here we go.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
I don't know why I put a spoiler. Anthony, tee this one up for me, will you? Look, a sports reference. Don't you appreciate it?
Nice. There you go. So I guess Batman versus Superman decided to counteract the Iron Man versus Cap trailer by releasing their own trailer. Back.
Yeah,
right on the same show, Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if this was planned or not, but
I think Kimmel. Dude, that's a great idea for Kimmel. It's whatever he's doing. This is like the place to drop your trailers now.
I was surprised though, Kimmel being on ABC, that they would let a Warner Brothers property release on their show.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point though they don't care because Affleck was there in the audience before. I watched it and it was hilarious. Jimmy kept calling him Batman. He goes, Jimmy, you know my real name, right? Like we know each other. He goes, you've seen me naked. And he goes, say my real name. And Jimmy's like, it's Bruce Wayne, right? It's Bruce. He goes, no. So, and then they played this trailer. Now, you guys.
Red Boy, did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it.
We'll put links of everything we talk about in the show notes, jockandnerd.com/63. Who wants to start?
Rug Boy. I want Rug Boy's thoughts.
Oh, my God.
Okay. If you remember, the good, the bad, the ugly, what do you want? What do you want to hear first?
Let's start with the good. Let's just start with the good.
Okay.
All right. I've said this time and time again. All right. Zack Snyder makes a good trailer. Zack Snyder makes good costumes. Zack Snyder shoots things in an interesting, cool, iconic way.
Yeah.
He's a good comic booky, action-oriented guy. So all that stuff is great. Okay. The exchange that Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent have at the party in the beginning of the trailer is fine. There's a little bit of a measure. This is how big my dick is, and then this is how big your dick is. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the judge of the dick contest comes, and he has red hair, and he's Lex Luthor, and he ruins everything. Because why does Lex Luthor he's terrible? He's just not Lex Luthor. They made him into a different character that doesn't go along with what we know Lex Luthor as, more of a Donald Trump asshole guy. Like a guy who's suave and debonair and kind of I never liked the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor.
Me neither.
I never liked I love Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
But I never liked that he was a buffoon, you know?
Who's your favorite Luthor, on-screen Luthor?
I like Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like an intelligent guy. You know that he came from good stock. He was bred well. Like he was like, you know, but he has this like bald head and it bothers him. He has a vanity issue, you know?
Plus he got to spend a lot of time with that character on that show.
Yeah, and he feels even more dickless when Superman arrives because now like he's managed to like overcome his insecurities of being bald and maybe like not the tallest guy in the world, but he has like this big ego. Yeah. And then also Superman shows up and makes him feel small, and he hates that, and that's why he hates Superman.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. And I don't really I understand that, like, you know, he's playing more of a Woody Allen type of a role. You know, it sounded very like Semitic in a way.
Yeah.
And he's playing up that like part, and that's cool, but like it's just not the character.
No,
I could see it, but it's not the character.
Based on, and I'm going to echo Rug Boy's thoughts, based on what we've seen, because obviously we can only base it off what we've seen. I feel like Jesse Eisenberg was miscast. He feels like he is in a totally different movie. And I get that we've been criticizing how serious this has been, the DC universe so far. And he is almost like, in it, like almost as if he's like in the movie kind of making fun of how serious this is. And it just is not working. Like, I don't think he's cast, like, I don't think he's in the right movie. Like, he literally, the dick measuring contest that Rug Boy references, he jumps in and he totally ruins that scene.
It throws,
It throws everything off. And the scene,
he should have been the Riddler. That's a good call.
The scene itself, great in terms of like the audio. Clark Kent meets Bruce Wayne. That's great audio. Like, that's what every comic book fan wants to hear. But if you think about it in the context of the movie, who the fuck is Clark Kent in this universe? Clark Kent is some no-name reporter. Like, that shouldn't be a big deal to Lex Luthor that Clark Kent is meeting Bruce Wayne at this moment.
Dude,
like, Clark Kent
how does he not? Well, how does he not know? I don't understand how he doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is. This guy is like a billionaire playboy, and you're a fucking reporter, dude. Shouldn't you know who Bruce Wayne is?
I get the sense that all three of them actually know who one another are, like real identities. Like, I get the sense that Bruce Wayne knows that Clark Kent is Superman, and Superman knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Like, that's the feel I got from that. But God, Jesse Eisenberg is that. I don't know how I feel that he is not. The audio on him is not good right now.
You know, the irony, it's so funny because we tried this whole universe for being so dark and grim and nobody smiles or cracks a joke. And now we got humor and they fucking fuck that up too. Like, it doesn't work.
Because
like,
it's not the appropriate character to do that.
No, right. None of his lines make sense. That line he gives Amy Adams, that line doesn't make sense about the.
He's like, psychotic is a 3-syllable word for that people use that don't understand anything.
That doesn't make sense.
I was going to say that even like the last two trailers were so serious, and we criticized how serious this universe is. So they decided for this third trailer to make it almost like this wacky, like Schumacher-esque tone. And it was like, even like if you notice the editing, like the jump cuts with the music, it's like da-da-da-da-da, and the scene like moves fast. Like those jump cuts, they do it like 3 or 4 times on beat. And it just is like, what is going on? This is almost like it's become like a Bizarro world with this thing.
I mean, even the structure of this trailer, it's kind of a fucking weird mess, dude. Like,
the music's different too.
Yeah. The music is like campy.
Watch the first trailer and watch the first 4-minute trailer that they had, and then listen to the music. Then watch this trailer. The music is a lot different. Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of music, but it's a much lighter, less ominous music.
That's weird. They're trying to lighten it up. Like, they just missed.
They gave away a ton of plot. Like, if you look at, there's an article on Birth Movie's Death that is pretty funny that makes fun of this trailer, and they basically say this movie's been marketed around Batman v Superman, so them fighting. Yet in this trailer, they show the exact moment when they're not fighting anymore and they become a team. What the fuck?
Because
what is going on?
And I think I think giving away the fucking big bad was a little bit like, hey, wait, I had another question. The scene in the desert, those flying things, are those parademons?
That's what I thought. There might be parademons. I think it's a dream sequence.
You think that whole thing? So that whole thing, because that clip they showed in Gotham was where he comes down and he pulls his mask off and he's just like a pouty bitch, and you just want Batman to beat the shit out of him. I'm like, what is this? Like, what?
What's parademons?
Parademons.
They're Darkseid like army,
Darkseids,
like
yeah,
flying,
army.
like flying demons, basically.
They're like, flying
Scoop
demon
people.
monkeys. Very, they're badass though. They can.
You know what?
fucking
Here's
swarm
why I
over
think
you.
it's a dream sequence. If you notice, all the soldiers have Superman patches. Do you notice?
Yeah.
So I think it's what Batman thinks would happen if Superman were ever be in control of everything and lose his temper. I think it's a dream sequence. Because that's the only way to explain seeing flying demons flying around at that point.
But why do we need a dream sequence in this movie? That's a bigger issue.
S. Snyder, I don't know.
What
Or the
fuck?
writers.
He wants to sucker punch you.
The whole thing was dream. None of this happened. All right, so I guess that's Doomsday at the fucking end there, right?
Actually,
It's gotta be Newsday.
I thought it was a cross between the Abomination and one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Or the the lizard from Amazing,
Or the lizard, yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, all these things look alike. I don't know why they keep doing this. Like, first of all, Doomsday's got, and they're probably going to evolve him. And this is like his, because Doomsday evolves.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
Right.
he starts out like normal, and then the bone protrusions start coming out all over the place. But I mean, that's not going to win you any points when you're showing that one as your first vision of the big bad is the one where he looks like everything else.
And the fact, go ahead. Sorry, Rugway.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, you would have expected, too, with the visuals from Zack Snyder, that he would be a little more careful on what he shows in a trailer. Like, it definitely feels like Doomsday's not finished yet, CGI-wise. So I wonder why they would show that. Like, that I think was a mistake as well.
I think they spent all the money on Batfleck.
Oh shit.
And they called up Mark Webb and were like, hey, dude, you still got that lizard CGI? You're not using that, right? Can you just transfer that over? Can you put it in my Dropbox? We need to. I ran out of money. I need a Doomsday. Fucking
that's the thing,
Batfleck
like-
took the rest of our budget.
What is that thing? Like you have the lizard from Spider-Man that could have looked like a lizard, but they didn't make it look like a lizard. They made it look like a guy.
Yeah.
And then they had the Abomination who has the ears with the crazy ears. They didn't give him the crazy ears.
Right.
And they made him look like a guy, like a troll.
Yeah.
Then they had the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That's supposed to look like turtles, and they look like a troll. So they're just making Shrek. They just keep making Shrek.
There's something in Hollywood about not having long snouts, because anything that has a long snout or supposed to, they just shove it
They
back in
squish
his
it.
fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I don't know. Even Godzilla's got a snout like that. Like his face was pushed in too.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
Lord of the Eyes
Yeah.
says hard with CGI. It might be, and they're making there's good points here in the blab. I do feel like I already know what's going to happen throughout the entire movie now.
They spoiled
Like,
the movie. He did look
Batman
like a
is-
troll from Hobbit.
Luther
So what's
is
gonna happen?
manipulating one. Luther's manipulating them two against each other. He either wants Batman gone or Superman gone, and wants one of the two to take each other out. When it doesn't work, he creates the devil, which is Doomsday, who Doomsday comes in to take them out, and then Wonder Woman comes in to help save the day, and then they all unite. That's
Okay,
basically
Yeah,
it.
but
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's there the whole time though. Wonder Woman's at this party.
She is, yeah.
Wonder
You're
Woman's
right.
all over this thing, but I think that she's trying to find them, maybe.
Or
She
yeah,
waits
maybe.
until they come. I mean, again, she's like probably the coolest thing in this at the end of this trailer. Like you get a huge when you see the reveal that she saved them, and she was the shot of her in the last trailer was great. Like,
You
but
get a good.
let's not-
Go
How
ahead,
come they
Dan,
can't
Mike.
give her blue eyes? That's the easiest thing to do with CGI. Why can't they do that?
No.
Does she have? She doesn't. She has blue
No,
eyes.
she's brown-eyed. I think.
No, she's got brown eyes. She's got a brown eye.
Let me see your brown eye, girl. Anyways,
But Anthony, you have that storyline that you just said. Plus, you got to fit in fucking Flash. You got to fit in the Aquaman reference. You got to. Isn't Cyborg in this fucking movie?
Yes.
Like all this other. This is gonna be. This is already jumping to like the third movie disaster. I don't know. It makes me nervous. Like this should be.
the feel I
amazing.
got from it was Schumacher Batman films / Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's how I feel this movie is going to turn out. I feel like it's going to be a complete mess. And
Yeah.
you said there was a cool moment when Wonder Woman jumps in. Yeah, that's a cool moment. But then it's immediately ruined by the delivery of the lines afterwards. Like, is she with you?
even their
Is she with
attempts
you?
at humor Okay, maybe I was wrong. Don't have jokes in the movie. Don't smile, because clearly you fuckers can't pull it off. Just keep it all straight, dark tone. I thought Bruce knew her before. I thought that was going to be the story. Apparently, neither of them fucking know who she is.
Did you catch Bruce or Ben Affleck? Is that Ben Affleck? Did you catch he's doing a Batman voice now too? It's like, was she with you?
Yeah, it sounded a little modulated in the suit there. Everyone, you got to do the Batman voice. Well, you know what? You better get used to Batfleck because he ain't going anywhere.
Swear to me.
I think he when he eventually directs a Batman film, if they make it that far, I think he's actually going to do pretty well with it. But
it'll be
Snyder, what the fuck was that?
He's making his Batman film. That's
Matt Damon will be Robin.
Yeah. Jason Todd Robin, we could beat the fuck out of him. I did like the line about we got a history with crazy clowns, in the beginning.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. That whole bit was good. The whole exchange was good up until Luther came in.
Yeah.
I think that was a very, very, very odd, weak trailer to end the movie hype, because usually it's that 3-trailer act, and this was a very weak.
There's a lot of geek boners all over the place for this.
That's true. I did see on Instagram too. I saw on Instagram they did a hashtag like, what did you think was better, Iron Man versus Cap or Batman v Superman? And it was Batman v Superman.
I think that
really?
Well, it's the casuals. Batman and Superman are huge names.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but the movie looks like a bigger movie.
Sure.
I mean, the Batman versus Superman movie looks like it's going to be humongous. It's going to be a 3-hour epic of like fucking destruction. And the Civil War looks actually like a lot of a smaller movie.
More character moments, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a smaller film.
The action's going to be great in that. There was another final thing I wanted to mention. I had a problem with the last shot where it's the three of them. The camera's kind of pulling out and pushing in. For some reason, I don't know what it is, if it's like over CGI, like it doesn't feel like they are there in that environment.
What it is they're obviously in front of a green screen.
No, but it looks like they're standing in front of, like, freeze that frame. It looks like they're standing in front of a projection. Like, they don't look like they're in that scene at all in that final shot. It really took me out of the whole thing. Screen.
It's them in front of a green screen, and it's monochromed too. So the thing is, too, is if you look at freeze that shot, they all are supposed to be wearing very distinct colors. Like Wonder Woman has the red and the gold, and Superman has the blue and
it's all
the
dark
red.
And muddy.
They all look like they're wearing black.
It's
unbelievable.
But it can't be. But that, look, Popcast is like, it's almost like TV visuals. You're saying bad green screen. This fucking movie has tens of millions of dollars budget. It can't be a bad. How could you? That's not an excuse. There's no way it's a bad green screen.
They're still working on it. I guarantee it'll look a lot better for the movie. They're still working on it.
Because they all
but it looks like Watchmen. The same thing as Watchmen.
Yes, that's the thing. So I think what it is with Cider, he pushes this. It's like he pushes the saturation hue to, and a lot like Sucker Punch, to surreal levels, to where it almost looks like it's a fantasy or it's an illustration or it just. But I don't know if that works for this one, because it took me out of it. I was like, it doesn't look like they're sitting in front of that fire. Like, why?
He likes to make things so that if you screen grab it, it looks like it's straight out of a comic. Like his visuals, like if you screen grab every one of his visuals, it's going to look great. It's going to look like comic book-esque, which is great. But it's not going to be. It's not a film. That doesn't make a film.
No, somebody has already said this in the article. They were like, and I agree, the movie's going to look good, but I don't know if it's going to be a good movie. That's the problem.
No, it's not going to be a great movie. It'll be fine. It'll be
Go ahead, Ron.
Like Man of Steel. It'll be like Man of Steel. No. It'll be you'll be watching it and you'll be like, feel like you're on a roller coaster ride, and then you'll get off and you'll be like, what the fuck was that I just see? What was that?
But
did I just see?
It leaves you empty. It's all style, a little bit of substance. Maybe not even any substance. There's a lot of shit they got to put in this movie.
It's going to be one of those movies where you exactly right. You see a ton of stuff and you're like, oh shit, that was cool. That's cool. But then when you go back and you think about it, you're like, wait a minute. What the fuck? This is none of that made sense. Why is this happening? Why did that happen? Why are they so angry? I think that's my prediction, is you're going to question everything after the end of that movie.
I mean, I've yet to see if I feel anything for any of these characters. That's my main concern, is I don't think I'm gonna care about it.
Did you catch the line where again, I think this was on Birth Movies Death, where they were talking about Ben Affleck. So he has his Batman voice, but they said when he's Bruce Wayne, he kind of talks like he's Bruce Springsteen. He has like this mumble where he's got like a piece of shit in his mouth.
Maybe that's the Gotham in me.
So
isn't it hypocritical about you and this puff piece?
Yeah, Zach Burton should take a page from Tim Burton on storytelling. Pop X-Cast. He should take the whole book from fucking Tim Burton on storytelling. Because
including the Nicolas Cage Superman.
Yes, take the Nicolas Cage and fucking make that. The guy is like the equivalent of like your hype artist from the 90s. In fact, the guy's the equivalent of all superhero books from the 90s, where every page was this crazy splash page with guys in poses, and then there's just a bunch of word bubbles, and for no reason. It was just like me stroking my pencil dick all over a page.
Are you saying that Snyder's the Rob Liefeld of visual storytelling?
Maybe a little bit.
Oh shit.
Maybe a little bit.
No, come on.
Ooh, that's rough.
That's
like the worst insult you could hurl. That's not Michael Bay. That's from Michael Bay.
Yeah, you're right. Michael Bay.
No, Michael Bay is the Rob Liefeld. Snyder is more maybe like, well, I don't even know. I'm not going to name
Like
it.
Michael Bay is like, he's trying to appease the lowest common denominator. He has no interest in telling a good story. Snyder tries. He just doesn't have the tools to do it.
You're right. All right, I would agree with that. Snyder does have bigger aspirations than Bay ever has in films, but
Watchmen is still a great movie, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Again, like you said, I enjoy his ambition of making these fucking projects. Bay just knows to just shit out some CGI. It's gonna make a fucking $1 million. Who gives a fuck what's going on around it? And just make things blow up. Really.
Was it on our show where someone pointed out that in the last Transformers there were like a way more than necessary shots where Bay was shooting between like girls' legs, like the camera was literally between girls' legs, like as people were talking, they would put the camera between the legs, and then there'd be two people in the distance talking. Like, what the fuck?
Hoo-ha shots for no reason. Just absolutely gratuitous hoo-ha shots. He thinks he's fucking making The Graduate with fucking Dustin Hoffman in that one scene.
Like, you remember in Transformers 2 where Megan Fox is on top of that motorcycle and that pose for no apparent reason?
And what happened? And what did it do?
Nothing. That still frame is the best thing out of the whole movie. I don't even want to see the movie.
Megan Fox on the motorcycle.
Oh my God, the Megan Fox on the motorcycle. Just show me that still for 2 hours. It's way better than the fucking Transformers.
Oh shit.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah, it was pretty legit. What happened to Megan Fox? She's done, huh?
She got into a little argument.
Still?
Oh, she might be in that, but she got into a little beef with Michael Bay, and he kicked her off Transformers 3, and her career has kind of been since.
Wow.
Yeah, it took a huge shit.
Yeah.
She had to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, at least she's in that.
Yeah.
That's a Michael Bay. Actually, that's a Michael Bay.
That's Michael Bay production. Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't direct it. That's why it's better than the Transformers.
Are those any good, you guys? TMNT,
I haven't
the
seen
new
it.
ones? I haven't seen any.
It's okay. Not great. I still prefer the original one that came out in the 80s or whatever.
Oh, that's a great one.
I do like that first one.
Yeah, but the first Ninja Turtles, the new one, it's okay. I wouldn't like put it up there. It's like I'd give it like a C.
I love that CGI one. I don't know why don't they make more of those. That was awesome.
That one's supposed to be a direct sequel to the other two, or the other three. The CGI one. It's in that same universe. It just happens to be CGI.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
They moved the way they moved was awesome. Like that was like a comic book come to life. All right, I think that's you got anything else on this trailer?
Wow, no, I think we've properly killed it. I think we've properly
killed
it. Trailer.
You know what? The fanboys, I know Kevin and Kristen 365 are gonna fucking hate us, dude. I know. Look, if you listen to the show, because they fucking love. They're gonna say this trailer is the bomb. And we just kind of ripped it apart. And we're a little bit, we tend to be Marvel fanboys, but this is just looking at trailer for trailer, the content, the structure. What is this? This is a mess. I'm sorry. It's a huge thing, but it's a mess. So, all right.
Absolutely.
Let's wrap up the main show, guys, and we'll open it up to the blabbers to jump in here what they thought.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast. Jock and Nerd.
Hey guys in the blab, thanks for hanging out. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. You can find all of our stuff over at jockandnerd.com. Subscribe to the podcast, and you will get every show. You will get the last show where Rug Boy gets drunk at the end.
We get a drunk boy.
You get a drunk.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
You get a drunk boy. There may be a little bit more drunk boy in another episode. But we haven't thanked our networks for a while. I just wanted to shout out to a couple of networks that we're on: the Tangent Bound Network, Weeby Geeks Network, A Place to Hang Your Cape, and podcast.ph. Check out their sites. Great geek content. Links are in the show notes, jockandnerd.com/63. And I kind of consolidated our call to actions at the end, didn't I, Anthony?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, let's see. Let's hear it. This was good.
I don't need to mention the Blab because we're on the Blab. Subscribe to us on Blab. Follow us here on Twitter. We're going to be here every week during the comic book TV season, geeking out about stuff that comes out. But here's the call to action, people. Number one, you want to contact us, you want to chime in, all you got to do, go to jockandnerd.com/contact. There's links to our SpeakPipe, links to our Twitter, links to our email. You could even type in a little note and send us a message right there. One link, lots of ways to get in touch. Number two, you're going to want to subscribe. That way you will get every show. You're not going to miss anything. You'll get Rug Boy right in your pocket as soon as it comes out. Go to jockandnerd.com/review. Takes you to our iTunes page, or just search Jock and Nerd Podcast in your favorite pod catcher. And then, Anthony, what's the final thing? Number three, real simple, 3 things.
All you have to do is just tell a friend. Hit them with one of these.
Jock and Nerd.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
If you're a woman, that might be hard. You could do one of these.
Jock and Nerd.
Both of those are me, so I sound like a woman and a man. Figure that one out, people.
That's because you're a hermaphrodite.
I'm one of those. I got both parts, people. Ruggs is also a felty hermaphrodite. Ruggs, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me in the corner of a closet somewhere masturbating. You can also find me on Twitter at Really Rug Boy. Yeah. Really Rug, because I'm Really Rug Boy.
Ruggs, did you jump on any shows this week in the Blabs?
I did a show with Angel Hill.
Yeah,
I did that like game show where you play the games.
How did that go? Man. That's on Monday nights. She does that on the Blab. They got a whole network, Angel Hill TV.
She said something about like of doing a network thing, and I don't know what she was talking about. I was really inebriated. I was inebriated, not drunk, but the other kind.
Also, like.
I totally forgot that I was going to be doing that thing. So I like settled in for a night of watching TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I got to go on this thing. So I was totally not in the right mindset, if you know what I'm saying.
She loves you though, man.
She loves you. And that's the best way to be when you're on the Blab. She wanted you to co-host.
Yeah, she wanted you on that show.
It's a big commitment, Ruggs. It's a lot of time. And we are taking up your time here. This is priority, Rug Boy.
I'm not doing shit. You know that? I'm barely going to do this show.
But, yeah, Ruggs might be on the random Blab here and there, so definitely follow at Really Rug Boy on the Twitters. All right, gang, this has been lots of fun. We're going to wrap up this main show, and we want to talk to you blabbers and geek out about what you guys like. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the Nerd.
And we'll catch you next time.
Jock and Nerd.
Jordan loves rugby. It's a great sport. Like it's no pads. They just fucking slam into each other. It's brutal. It's violent. Oh, I think she meant Rug Boy. Oh, I see. Never mind.
Oh.
Yeah, I love Rug Boy too. If anybody wants to jump in and geek out or have any comments or thoughts about what we talked about or anything at all, we love talking to people. Come on in. The seat's open. This is the Jock and Nerd post-show live on Blabus.
Unfortunately, I can't really hang for this one, guys.
Anthony, I think everyone wants to know what the fuck does a jock do on a Thursday night? What do you do?
I'm going to actually this girl's party.
Ooh.
Tonight.
Instagram.
So, yeah. I'm being a real jock.
Let's see what you got here. Oh no. Get the fuck Rug Boy, you have to click on this link right away. Who is this person? Wow.
Nikki Heaton. Have you heard of her?
No.
She's
can we get her on the podcast? Tell her to come on the podcast.
She's from Illinois, from Geneva. She's up like this singer, but like she posts like racy photos of herself. She's actually a really good singer, but
she is a good singer. What kind of music?
like she likes to she kind of has like a folk voice, like a waspy voice, but she sings hip hop. So she got famous on YouTube singing like real like gangster songs. I forget which ones, like I forget. I have to look it up.
She's covering hip hop songs, and
she used to. She writes her own shit now.
Oh, okay.
But
Pop the rod.
Yeah,
dude,
but she's
like there's pictures of her
hot.
in lingerie on the stage. She's just like wearing lingerie.
Yeah, she just. But she used to cover. She's from Geneva, I believe.
No, where are you going to see her? Where is she performing?
Studio Paris Club, River North.
I'm too
Whoa, there's one with donuts in her boobs.
Yeah.
Nick, this is a good follow on Instagram.
Wow.
Nikki Heaton on Instagram, people. This is a good follow. I think you need to give her a follow. So it's very
Geek Movement.
So unfortunately, I
will follow her.
I have to shit and shower and get out there.
Shit, shave, and shower. The 3 S's every gentleman does.
You gotta shit first.
Is that the order? Sometimes I get the order mixed up and then I fuck it up and I gotta do
nothing's worse than you just got clean and then you gotta shit. That's the worst feeling.
Correct.
You're like, why I have to go back in there?
It's a waste of water. Let's conserve the water, people. California's having a drought. Tell Nikki I said hi and get her on the show, Anthony.
I'll do my best, guys. But good luck and God bless all of you.
He's good.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Even though God bless each and every one of you.
I hope you find that girl Nikki under your tree.
Oh my God, Nikki Heaton. Sometimes I envy the jock's life, Ruggs, and I sit back here and I look at what I got and I look at what he got and I'm like, what the fuck happened? What happened?
Oh, there's Anthony Davis wants to get on.
No, somebody come on in. We got an open seat.
Hey, Imran.
Mr. Mate. This is hey, buddy, what's up? I remember you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Hey, look, it's my twin brother.
Had a great.
But boy, did you get your hair cut lately? Did you get your hair done?
Who, me? Yeah, I do my hair all the time.
Yeah.
You look like you got your hair done, dude.
Yeah.
It looks good. He's got a little bit of product in there.
Like
very Sid Vicious, very
I like it. Well, it's better than mine, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, yuck. Just be glad you have hair. You know, some of us are not that lucky. If I tilt my head down, you'll know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's why the camera is not behind me ever. Because it's
now listen, would you consider ever just shaving your head bald, Imran?
Me? I would.
You would?
No.
Really?
Well, I'm not gonna look. I was just gonna let it just fall out and see what happens. I haven't really been concerned about like Rogaine or plugs or whatever the fuck the technology is, the spray on shit. I don't know. If it gets to the point where I don't know what my head would look like. The problem is you don't know what the shape of your head is until you do that. And it's either going to look good or it's not going to look good. I would keep the beard.
I don't think I'd ever do that intentionally just because.
You would look like an evil scientist.
I think I would. He would.
No. I think Imran would look like an evil scientist.
I should keep my beard with the. Sometimes I don't trust.
Imran, you ought to just sit here like this and just go for $1 billion
Canadian. That's $5 American. No, sometimes I intimidate people with my beard. Hey, we get to talk to a Popcast guy.
So,
come on in. I'm gonna. Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, he's got some comic book shit.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
I got a comic book.
What? Hey, you got a lot of shit. What's your name? Where you calling from, dude?
I'm from Orlando.
Oh, nice, Joe. And it looks like you do some kind of pop culture podcast. I've seen your Twitter just recently. I think we followed you.
Yes, I know of Joe.
So
why don't you plug your site real quick? People can find out where it is.
popxcast.com.
popxcast.com. Right on, man. You got a lot of shit back there. What's your favorite thing you got? What's your prized possession? Holy shit, you got a lot of cool stuff.
What? Let me give you the back.
Actually, I know of Joe through the same source that I know of you, Imran. Through Julie Hendricks through the web series community. Yeah.
That's excellent. And she's with that Geeks with Wives podcast show, Twitter account.
Is that Stan Lee?
That is.
Holy shit. Wow. Is that you with Stan Lee?
Is your hand up his ass? What's going on?
Yeah, where's the other hand? Is that a puppet? Is that real Stan Lee or is that a Felty?
That's Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. I met Lou once at a convention.
Stan the
He's
man.
look at that signed picture.
This is
Stan Lee.
probably my most prized collection. This is the Optimus Prime 1984 unopened.
Whoa.
In the fucking box, dude.
Cool.
Holy shit. Can I? Oh my God. Okay, I got to tell you guys a story. I can't believe you have that in the box. I was such a shitty kid, dude. I fucking threw tantrums when I was
Oh, I
little.
was too.
I begged my parents for that. No, but listen to this tragic, me being a shithead. I begged my parents for that Optimus Prime so badly, and they finally got it to me. And the first day I opened it up, I set everything up. I love it. The very next day, what do? What do I think is a good idea?
Burn.
I'm going to take this thing. No, I'm going to take this thing to school. I think I was
See
in
that?
fifth grade.
G1.
Oh shit, G1 Optimus Prime. I'm like, I'm gonna take this thing to school and show it off to my friends. Now, I went to school at a Chicago fucking hood rat public school. All I know is by the end of the day, the fucking Optimus Prime cab was gone, and I was left with just the truck end. And it was the second day I had it, and I could never tell my parents, and I felt like
Oh shit! Is that the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon?
That is the.
That's a good.
How much
that's a
does that
good
thing
get
go
right there,
for?
too.
That's about 400 right now on eBay.
Jesus Christ!
Wow. I think Anthony. I wonder if Anthony has that. That's a really good get. I mean, how long have you had that? Did you get that knowing that the movie was going to happen and this thing's going to
That's
skyrocket?
actually from my original collection.
Nice.
Wow.
I need to
How
pull
long have
out
you been
my
collecting
comic book
comics,
collection.
Joe?
Comics for a long time. You know, you can't have a comic man cave without like long boxes. But I've been collecting comics. I've been drawing comics. I'm an artist as well.
Oh, excellent.
1989, 88.
Wow. That's about. Wow, you must be that's when I started.
Yeah, that's
1988,
about when I
89.
started. I was 14.
The
And
Tom Harlan era, the
Yes.
eras.
Yes.
Mhm.
Were you a Spider-Man fan? What'd you collect back then? What'd you start collecting?
Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, and it was beautiful.
That was me.
And just some random stuff as a kid. I was just trying to collect, and then when I got older and started actually appreciating them, started really gravitating towards a lot of Todd McFarlane's art.
Rugs, that's very rude.
I'm sorry. I'm
Hey,
still coming down with
Rug,
Jim,
Drink some water.
here.
Oh shit! Look at that.
You drew that?
wow.
Yeah, I got this at a Comic-Con.
That's
And
you said that's Jim Lee. Who's that one?
that's Jim Lee.
Oh, that's Jim Lee too. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Jim Lee Magneto, dude. Wow, he's got original art. So, estimated, what is the size of your collection? Number of issues, if you have an estimate. I'm
All 5 long boxes?
You got any Avengers, Fantastic Four?
I would say over 2,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have, and you can't see in this room, I have like 15 short boxes all over the place. They're all full, and they're all out of order.
At my mom's house, I have 17 long boxes.
Holy shit, Ruggs, that's a lot.
Oh, shit.
That is a collection.
Yeah.
I've got
That is
like 25 boxes that are about this long of comic books.
Yeah. No shit,
And-
dude. Everyone's a big nerd. I love it. I love all the shit Joe has on his wall. Who's that?
I need to pull
Oh,
them
that's
out again.
Daryl. It's Norman Reedus. Right on, the Norman Reedus. You have some cool shit, dude.
A little bit of a nerd.
No, that's hey, you found the right fucking show. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that much.
Well, I mean,
This thing behind me came off of a comic book shop in Chicago that was around for 41 years, and it closed in October. And the shop had been there my whole life, and they had these wood panel illustrations on the street. And on the last day, I had to go buy one. Actually, if you go to jockandnerd.com/50, I did a whole show about the Variety Comics and the closing of Variety Comics and the staff and the customers.
I only got like
Just to kind of
10% of battery left, but I just wanted to hop on and say hello, and I enjoy listening to you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
Joe.
I want to come check
back.
you out too.
Yeah, we're gonna check out your show. We're here almost every week. If you follow us, you'll see the shit. But thank you so much for hanging out, man. We appreciate it.
All right, dude. He's got 10% battery.
Yeah, Joe.
Dude, that
Joe's
dude
a
had
great
some
guy.
hits
I like him a lot. I listen to his stuff.
Yeah. Rugs, there's a whole web series community, according to Tony, that I'm realizing, and they're all kind of talking about us, and it's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah,
What are they saying?
There's a few of them that know about you. I know Julie does, and her husband, Max. They both listen to you, and there's a few others who know about you in the web series community. And if you don't know what a web series is, it's a kind of like in the old days of broadcast radio. When your broadcast radio was first getting popular, they had the stories on the radio, like Little Orphan Annie or the Hornet, the Green Hornet, that kind of stuff. It's the same concept. It's just like video. It's episodic format of a video. And so there's this guy who does a hangout every Wednesday night on YouTube called Jeff Burns. He's got a web series called Super Knocked Up about a superhero who gets his arch nemesis pregnant, and they have to figure out how to raise a baby together. And so about 3 years ago, they started doing a hangout on YouTube called Super Geeked Up. And I've gotten to know a lot of people through Super Geeked Up, web series creators and producers and writers and behind the scene peoples and actors and actresses and all kinds of people like that. And, they talk about comic books and Star Wars, Star Trek, Stargate SG-1, all kinds of stuff like that every week on Super Geeked Up. And a lot of them mention you a lot. Jeff does, Julie does, and her husband Max. There's another guy from Timekeeper who mentions you. His name is Darren Murphy. He mentions you quite a bit, and they all listen to you. Well, because we're into the stuff we like, comic books, that kind of stuff.
No, I love hearing that. It's fantastic, and it's all part of we're trying to find our audience, and you're exactly right. If you're a big geek and nerd, you're gonna love the show. And even Angel was telling us that people were talking about us to her. Rug, can you believe any of this? Isn't this weird? We love
no, I don't believe it because there's 5 people watching us right now. Where is everybody?
I don't know.
Imran, you need to go on Facebook and you need to find a guy named Jeff Burns who does Super Geeked Up, Super Knocked Up, and you need to tell him you talked to me on Blab and tell him you talked to Tony Davis, Anthony Davis, know who you're talking about, and tell him that you want to be on Super Geeked Up one Wednesday night to promote the podcast, Jock and Nerd Podcast.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I will definitely do that. Yeah, Jordan says Jordan was with us. You were here that night when we had 1,000 viewers, and like that was
I
most
was watching that night. That was that night we was doing the debate about schools and
that was that show.
Yeah.
That was the education.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the education show. That was a great conversation. It's it's all recorded. It's all there. That was a lot of fun. We just I think we need to cross promote a little and get on these other shows. It's just finding time to do this sometimes can be true.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand how it works. That's the fucking problem with me. It's like, Angel's sitting there talking about the networks and this and that. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're scheduling me into something. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, there's no way I could figure this out. Like, no one sat there and been like, this is how Blab works. This is what we do. We have these things. It's a net. I don't know what a network is.
Well,
what the fuck? This is the network.
But that's look, this is like the early day, like Tony says, the early days of radio, like the early days of television. Everyone is still figuring everything out. There are no rules. There are no set, do it this way, that way, this way. This is the Wild West here, people. We're building the standards. We're setting the standards.
And the more you're on here, the more you get to know people, and then you start realizing, hey, I've got this in common with you. I've got this in common with you. Oh, we listen to the same things. Oh my God, we've got the same connection to friends, and we never even known each other. Yeah. And so that kind of falls into play. And then the next thing you know, something good comes out of the whole thing because of the fact that you have made a connection some way.
Yeah.
And it could last, it can happen in a day, it can happen a week, it can happen years from now.
I mean, and like Jordan said in the chat, like the crazy thing is it's a global platform. Like, we got our Ricky Primes, we got our people halfway across the world. There's no longer geographic limits. And I really love how she's trying to build a network and get a thing going. I got to respect that. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of fun. And we're just going to keep doing this every week, at least once a week, and continue having fun and building the audience, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, you want to jump on?
Jordan, come in. Say hi. And let's, yeah. What else has been going on? Let's see.
Y'all are talking about the Superman.
You watch the shows during the week? Oh, she is.
Oh, there's Jordan.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Jordan. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Did you watch any of these shows this week?
No.
What did you watch this week? What was the big geek thing for you?
Peyton and I binge watched Jessica Jones.
Oh.
Okay.
We're gonna do a show on that.
We're next weekend. I think we're gonna record, and then it'll be in the podcast feed. We're gonna review the whole season. And Ruggs, you finished it, right? I finally finished it.
Yes, I finished it to completion.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Oh man! All right, let's
watch last episodes of last week's episode of Doctor Who.
Yes.
That thing was messed up. What was that? I couldn't understand it.
It was a great episode.
That was a messed up episode. It was a good episode. It was messed up though. I'm like, where are they going with it? What is this?
Well,
what happened? We don't watch it. What happened?
Okay. Well,
You're frozen, Imran.
His companion died.
You know what? I'm gonna refresh you guys. Hold on. Keep going. I'm gonna refresh.
His companion died in the episode before that. Yeah. And then he got like transported into like this other kind of like world. He has this device that supposedly is his like last will and testament, is what he calls it. And he gets just thrust into this like castle that continuously moves and changes, and he's being followed by this creature who, if it touches him,
it was like a death kind of thing.
Yeah, but it moved really slow, and there was like televisions where he could see where it was, and he had to find this certain room, and it was just like continuously over and over. And it was like he would eventually find the room. There was this wall of like this substance that was like 400 times harder than diamond, and for 6 billion years or something, or longer than that, he like just continuously had to like punch on this rock, and then he would crawl back and die and then regenerate again. And then, I mean, it was ridiculous.
The reason it was so messed up is because it just kept repeating the same thing over and over again. And you're like sitting there going, wait a minute, what did that fall into play? Oh, okay, I see where that comes.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like,
well, yeah, and he had to do that continuously so he could get to the TARDIS, which he thought was the TARDIS, and then it ended up being what he's now on Gallifrey.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that is the most weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Moffat does some weird things anyway, but
it was awesome. I think it was the best episode of this season.
It took me about 4 times to watch that episode entirely so I could finally understand. Oh, okay, I understand the whole thing.
Yeah.
Goddamn, Rugs, does this make you want to watch Doctor Who at all, Rug Boy?
I tried to watch a couple episodes with Peter Capaldi, and it was confusing. Maybe I'll just it's on Netflix.
Well,
if I got nothing to do, I'll throw it on.
Yeah, Doctor Who is a really complex thing, and if you're not a veteran Whovian, then it's hard to capture.
But I'm not really. I mean, I'm not really a veteran Whovian. I mean, I've only been watching Doctor Who for a year. I mean, but
oh, okay. Well, when did you start? When Capaldi joined on?
No. I mean, I think I started around.
Oh, it was Matt Smith.
Yeah, Matt Smith was still around, and I just binged watched like all of those episodes up until then.
Yeah, I started watching it from the reboot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I started watching. Well, I was like a kid, and that's all that came on PBS was Doctor Who. So I grew up watching Tom Baker, and the fourth, fifth, and sixth Doctors, and then that's what I grew up on watching. And then whenever I realized in the late, when did BBC start remaking the remakes? Early thousands, something like that.
It was I thought it was like 2006 or something.
Yeah, it was like 2006. I started watching them again, and so it just reliving my life, reliving my childhood through Doctor Who, and that's the reason I said the veteran Whovian thing. If you don't have the whole concept of who Doctor Who is, some of his past reincarnations.
Yeah.
If you start watching just like an episode, you're like, what is this? This is...
Plus, it's a little bit
but the thing is,
for you too, isn't it, Tony?
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you start watching it from the reboot, it starts fresh. It
does.
So you can jump on, but that's the thing. I never watched it in the 70s because it was just. It looked really terrible. I mean, to be honest with you. Go ahead. No, but I started watching the reboots, and I feel like I have a good grasp. I didn't just watch one episode. I watched a shitload of them. And I was like, I was trying to give it a chance because it's this new thing that people are into, and I'm like, well, why don't I like it? Why can't I get into this? So I made myself watch it, and then I was just like, okay, I mean, I know the storyline. If I'm hard up for entertainment, I'll watch it, but it's not my favorite thing.
Usually when somebody tells me they want to watch Doctor Who, I usually say, well, do you know anything about Doctor Who? Do you know about the Doctor Who universe? Do you know it's been around for 50 plus years? Have you watched any of the other Doctors? And I kind of want to, understand where they're coming from. If they're brand new, I'm like, okay, you better go back and watch at least where BBC reincarnated the whole Doctor Who concept and went from there.
Well, the only thing I can really compare to Doctor Who is Godzilla. Godzilla's had this really long run that started in 1950s, and then they reincarnate him every few years with another run.
Yeah, about every 10, 15 years.
So it's got he's got 33 or 34 movies or something like that.
Actually, I think it's about time for another Godzilla reboot because the last one we had was with Matthew Broderick back in 96 or 94.
Well, one just came out in 2014.
What'd you think of that one, Tony? You didn't see that 2014?
I didn't see that one. I didn't.
Dude, it's got Bryan Cranston. It's very good.
Oh, okay.
Still room for improvement, but they're actually working on. They're gonna do a Godzilla. They're gonna do a King Kong movie, another Godzilla movie, and they're gonna do Godzilla versus King Kong by 2020.
Oh my God!
Right?
But the thing is, the whole point is that when let's say Imran doesn't really watch Godzilla, he's not into it. All right. And that's fine. I don't begrudge him because I know that I'm a weird person for liking Godzilla in the first place. All right. But if I wanted to point him in the direction of watching something, he could easily watch the new series that started in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't really be missing much because they went back and did the best of. They really went back and did the quintessential versions of those.
Yeah.
Like all of your favorite characters, they brought them back.
must have either missed it or just forgot that they made a remake.
Yeah, dude, that movie, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty epic.
It was a big deal.
20 years ago, because But then again, I'm not big for reboots anyway. I think the reboot things are overkill anyway.
Well, that's probably. I mean, that might be why you missed it, because you're like, oh yeah, Godzilla.
Right. Tony, I'm changing the topic. Tony, have you seen Jessica Jones?
No.
Okay, so Jordan, I have to know from a female perspective, what did you think of Jessica Jones? Had you watched Daredevil before?
Actually, no. I'm watching Daredevil.
Oh, so you didn't even watch Daredevil. Why? What drew you to Jessica Jones?
Well, Peyton, my husband, he watched Daredevil, and then he was saying how he wanted to watch Jessica Jones, and he started watching it, so I started watching it with him, and then he was like, "Now you have to watch Daredevil," because he's like telling me all the stuff that correlates, with it all together and stuff.
You went into it knowing nothing about like Jessica Jones, what it was. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, and you binged the whole thing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I liked it. I don't know. Like, she's a total badass. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Well,
what did you think of like compared to like network television?
Yeah.
Series wise, how do you think it compares? Like, to me, watching Netflix shows and then trying to watch a fucking regular network show, it's rough following the Netflix shows with anything because they just pale in comparison.
No, it was great on there.
It's like watching a web series compared.
I was really annoyed by fucking Patsy, bitch.
Oh, you didn't like Patsy Walker?
No, I'm annoyed by her.
Why? That's interesting. The decisions she made, perhaps.
Well, yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like she kind of gets in the way, and then she's like obsessed with Simpson or whatever, and like he, is turning into. He's a psycho. Yeah. Nuke. I mean, he just fucking ruins everything, and he's just got this big ass ego of like, Jessica can't do this because she's like this little woman. I'm the big guy. I know what I'm doing. And he kind of just fucks shit up, and she lets him.
That's typical Daredevil character anyway.
Yeah. It's surprising that they added Patricia Walker character in there because she's kind of like she's a character for Marvel. She's kind of an obscure character that's been around. Here's what's interesting that I learned. Patsy Walker, the character in Marvel Comics, has been around since the golden age of comics, since the 40s. It was in between. It was like superhero comics were big, and then they kind of died. And then there was like romance comics, and she was a character. It was like a teen romance book called Patsy Walker. In fact, that scene where that guy approaches her in the lobby,
he drops the comic. Mm-hmm.
That's the actual Patsy Walker comic from the 50s. And then when the Silver Age started, when superheroes came back, I guess one of the writers who had written Patsy was like, hey, we can pull her into the Marvel universe, and she's a superhero called Hellcat. So
yeah, that's what I was hearing, but I also heard that Hellcat in the comic. I mean, I've never read the comics or anything, so I don't know, but like that Hellcat is a different person.
Oh, that it wasn't Patsy.
There's a few reincarnations of Hellcat through the years.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Easter eggs they drop in the series.
Patsy Walker was the original Hellcat, and then there's other people that have taken it up. Yeah,
Patsy Walker made a few appearances in like obscure comic books like Howard the Duck and Sensational She-Hulk and.
Well, there was a lot of Avengers references in the show.
Yeah, and then the Avengers too. I used to read the Avengers quite a bit, and she was in that a lot.
Rugby, do you remember Patsy Walker was in the Alias series title as a character?
I want to reread it. I haven't read it in years, so I don't know the minutia of it.
I don't remember. What I did see was like the beginning of the show where she smashes the guy through the window and he's hanging there. That's like right out of the first issue of the book. It's a shot-for-shot remake. If you like the show, you should pick it up. It's in trade paperback. It was called Alias and came out in 2001. It was like Marvel's first adult comic. It was this Max line, Marvel Max. And
I read it when it came out, which was a while ago. But so I don't remember all the minutia.
Dude, at the time though, it was huge because We were just coming out of shitty 90s comic books, and this book had swearing, it had sex, it had flawed characters. You were like, this is not for kids, and it was very refreshing, and I loved it. The art was great.
When I read it, I was just like, wow, this is great. This is a Marvel comic.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow,
exactly.
this is really good. I'm like, this is like, and Brian Michael Bendis is the guy who wrote it, and he wrote like some of my favorite superhero stories. So I'm like, for him to go in this direction of this realistic, gritty, cerebral book, it was actually quite a feat.
He deserves a lot of credit for her characterization. He created her, and a lot of that they carried over into the show. But I thought Kristen Ritter was awesome, dude. I think she nailed that.
I agree.
It was very. I mean, if
She
you
was skanky.
Yeah, she was skanky. Like,
like
did you?
that.
So a lot of people complained. This is interesting. Let's get into this. A lot of people complained that the sex scenes on Marvel's Jessica Jones on Netflix, perhaps a little too gratuitous. And then I'm like, have we all become fucking prudes where like there's too much sex in the show?
Then if I watch it, I will not let my 15 and my 9-year-old nephew watch it with me.
No, it's not for 9 and 15.
There was like 2 scenes.
They don't show any nudity, but they do show a guy like going down on Patsy. It's like implied, like that's pretty racy.
Yeah,
and then there's.
I'm not going to share with my 9 and 15-year-old nephew. And
they have earth-shattering bed-breaking.
Yeah, they break the bed,
which is great. The moment where they realize that, we can fuck each other as hard as we want and no one's going to get hurt. Oh, it's on now. Like, I love that moment when they're kind of like, they're testing each other and it's like flirty, but it's very sexy.
He's like, I'm going to hurt you. And she's like, no, you won't.
She even she makes an allusion to like, what if I bite down on your finger? What happens? He's like, let's not find out.
I'll probably binge watch it. I'm getting Netflix starting tomorrow.
It's a very sexy series for Marvel. Like surprisingly, like sexual, but it was great. And now that you're watching Daredevil, you'll see Daredevil has a little more action.
Yeah, I'll be watching that more too.
Because he's like a trained fighter, where the action in Jessica Jones is like these superpower guys. Literally, they just throw people around. And I love every time.
Yeah, they're strong.
Yeah, Luke Cage just looks like annoyed and bored every fight scene. He's like, really? This again? I'm just going to shove you over here.
But he's super hot, so.
You think he's hot? He's like fucking huge. Dude, he's jacked.
Well, I don't know. I want him to be bigger, actually.
You think he should be even bigger?
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he was that menacing. You know,
but he's already pretty big.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a Power Man Luke Cage series. Do you guys watching this? Do you think that he can hold his own as the main?
Oh yeah.
I don't know from the. Hey, Flame Sun from Alberta, what's up?
Oh, that's Tina. Tina's my friend.
Tina, how you doing? This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast after show, and we're just talking about Jessica Jones on Netflix. For you, if you haven't seen it, as we're gonna spoil the shit out of it. Thanks for jumping on here. But we're gonna do a whole review. What else did you like about it? What did you think? Like. Because there's Supergirl. I don't know if you've seen Supergirl.
I haven't.
Okay, so for some reason, people love this goddamn saccharine-y, sweet, contrived fucking show.
I was hearing you guys talk about it earlier, and it just made me not want to watch it.
Here's the thing, though. This is what I don't.
From what I heard from people in the web series community, it's a piece of crap.
This is what I don't understand. I feel like people are like, oh, look, here's a strong female superhero role model. Look up. Now, if you look at pretty much every woman character in the Marvel MCU on the big screen and little screen, it's filled with really badass chicks who are even more empowering and more realistic. And, you have Agent May, you have Agent Simmons, you have Jessica Jones, you have the Black Widow. And yet everyone's like, oh, Supergirl, woman power. And it's fucking spoon-fed horse shit over there. What's going on?
Well, yeah, that was the problem that I heard from like Super Geeked Up, the Jeff Burns and his friends. They were talking about it on a web series, Hangout 160, and everybody was just saying it was just a spoon-fed thing. There was no predictability about the thing, and they didn't have any originality in the concept of the whole Superwoman, Superman,
But it's getting good reviews for some reason. Jordan, I love in Jessica Jones how the gender roles are literally flipped. All the men are damsels in distress, and they're all broken, and it's all the women that get the shit done. Like, that's awesome.
Yes. Well, and I love that. as a feminist.
Yeah,
That's
no,
great.
and like they flipped Hogarth's character in the comic books. That's a dude, Jaren Hogarth, and they just made her a woman, and it works. Like that role is not gender specific. You could be a hard ass male lawyer or female. Doesn't matter. The character still is valid, and it's really good.
Now, Jordan, like, what do you like? Okay, you seem to me you're into kind of like genre stuff. You watch Doctor Who and all that fun stuff. Now, what would you like to see in a show with a female lead that's like in the genre, like in like the sci-fi superhero genre, like
female Doctor Who?
I mean, obviously, in Doctor Who, the females are very
that's
important.
coming next year, I hear.
Really?
I'm not sure about a female Doctor Who. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, I mean,
well, no, it's not coming. I just saw an article real quick that Moffat said that there should be a female Doctor Who, not that there is, but that there should. So,
my husband said he'd be fine with female Doctor Who if they use Haley Atwell.
Oh fuck, she's great.
Oh yeah,
dude. She's already killing it with Peggy Carter. Haley Atwell is amazing. Yeah, but back to Ruggs' question. That's a great question. What do you need out of what makes a good, empowering female that's not a sketch or a stereotype or pandering?
Honestly, I don't really care. I don't really care who or what it is, as long as they don't make them out to be like this just poor old me with egotistical males that like want to tell them how to do things. And like I just need that. I just don't feel like that gets enough. I feel like even sometimes in certain things where they do have a strong female lead, there's always like a male lead that's just as strong. And I feel like that they're just like Jessica Jones did, like you said, like all the females are strong. Like we need more of that. Yeah. I don't really care.
I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer did it pretty well.
Yeah,
for its time.
Buffy's a good example for its time.
Most of the female roles in like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they did a very good role showing women being strong and independent, but yet
but also being treated like they were
treated as equals and also self-respecting. They were very self-respecting of themselves.
But and unlike, I love Jessica Jones because at times she is a piece of shit. At times she is flawed, and like this is an amazing, relatable character, like way more empowering and important for that kind of role. Than don't watch Supergirl, Jordan. It's gonna fucking piss you off.
Hey, one thing, but I gotta leave, but because it's getting late, and I'm not feeling too hot right now.
Oh no, poor Ruggs. Take some.
I'm coughing and shit. Anyway.
It's an expired milk you found.
But thank you so much for watching us today, and it's good seeing you guys, and I'll see you guys next week maybe when we do our blab.
Yeah, thanks, Ruggs.
All right, so
bye,
enjoy.
Bye.
Good night.
I think Rug Boy's cotton in his tummy is going bad.
Do you want to get on here too?
Yeah, I want to meet the hubby.
Yeah, come on.
Who's all into comics?
No, you should do this. No, you should do this. He's debating on doing this or doing something on Destiny.
Oh, he plays Destiny? Oh, cool.
He's really big on Destiny.
Yeah, I don't play it, but a guy I went to art school with works on it from years ago. Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Hey. So, your husband looks like guy from Spider-Man.
Wait, which guy? Oh, you mean Harry Osborn? James Franco?
Yeah, Harry Osborn. Yeah.
Dude, you just got a compliment. You look like James Franco. Tell him
he said that you look like James Franco. You know what's really funny is that his youngest brother actually gets told he looks like James or David Franco.
I think more Dave. I like Dave. He's more underrated. I love the Dave Franco. He was great in Neighbors and fucking that other movie, Pineapple Express. He hangs out with Seth Rogen. Sometimes, but both of them, dude, Franco, James, he's a fucking smart motherfucker. Like he plays off like a dumb stoner, but this guy,
he's not.
He's very smart. Like he writes articles. Like he's a smart kid. You gotta love the Franco.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him. Maybe he'll jump on here in a minute.
Well, I want to geek out about Jessica Jones some more because
Yeah, and he's seriously, like he's a good person to geek out with, which is why I'm trying to get him on here. He knows a lot more than I do.
He's got a phone. All he's got to do is plug in the headphones and fire the fucking thing up. It's right there. But
he's coming, so give him a minute.
So you just started watching Daredevil. What do you think of that so far?
I'm just now where Hell's Kitchen all blew up.
Oh yeah.
And
they're watching it from the window. Was it?
Yeah,
and
that's where I am now.
And then you see how like Vanessa is all in. They're like, oh, he found the right girl. Somehow found the right fucking girl. She's like, oh, this is good. Good work, Wilson.
I'll hand you my gun. No big deal.
No problem.
I can't wait to see it. I'm going to get a year's worth of Netflix because I'm going to go with Dish Network. So they're giving me a year's worth of free Netflix. So.
I'll tell you what. So this is watching Daredevil first. Like, my experience was, first of all, the first episode of Daredevil, the way it opens is amazing because they give you the origin before the fucking opening credits. You know, you see the kid, you see the accident, you see him in the church, and you see him kicking ass. That's it. Hit the ground running. I love that. That got me excited.
Is it better than the Ben Affleck movie?
Oh fuck yeah! I wish they used that suit. You'll see the final
title
at the end.
The title is Jock and Nerd Podcast.
At Jock and Nerd.
You just click on like when you get into Blab, you might even see my icon in like the pictures.
Live there, you'll see Jock and Nerd.
Yeah, but your hubby, he's going to got to go to another room, or we'll get echo. Because
that's a good point.
Yes.
Unless you want me to get it for you.
Get it started. So, Tony, you haven't watched. Oh, you say you don't have Netflix, dude. You got to get the.
No,
Netflix.
I don't have it yet. I'm going to get it tomorrow with my.
Get the streaming. Like, there's amazing.
Hey, there he is.
Amazing. Oh, there he is. Amazing documentaries on Netflix.
Go on air.
TV shows. And then I will let him in.
I'm looking forward to Rob Schneider's show coming.
Oh, he has a series coming out.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming on Netflix, and one of my friends is supposed to play in like the first 2 episodes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aziz Ansari's got a whole series that looks really interesting. Oh, here we go. There we go. We have both of the Radfords. Lots of Radfords. This show is now 50% Radford owned, everyone.
Oh, shit.
There we go. I love it. How do you say it in Padden? Payden. You need a Y in there, buddy. It's spelled wrong. What are you doing?
It's from a movie, actually.
Here, why don't I go to another room so it doesn't echo?
What movie is that from?
Silverado.
Oh, wow. Cool name.
It was an 80s Western with Kevin Kline.
Yeah, that was
Kevin Costner,
that's a big one.
Yeah.
So, Payden, do you watch Daredevil all the way through?
Yeah.
And then you watch Jessica Jones all the way through?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, what did you think comparing those two? Did you like one more than the other?
It's so difficult because
it is hard. I like them both for different reasons.
You
can almost not compare them against each other.
I mean, I think what they did is they drew a great kind of duality with their villains in that they set them up both really well, but Fisk is just this brute who's just completely violent. I mean, the scene where he bashes the guy's skull in with the car door.
He's a grown baby. He's a baby man. He's a man-child that can't control his temper.
The thing is, they're both men-child who can't control the temper, but they go about it in such different ways.
Yeah, that's true. They both want to clean up the city, technically.
David Tennant does such a good job of just being and encapsulating what, kind of a serial manipulator and rapist does is just
he was a great villain.
It makes you feel like it's your fault, where he tells Jessica that just because he told her to take care of her didn't mean she had to kill her, which is technically true.
That was such an interesting moment and he turns it around like he that's what a rapist would do, would turn the victim into the perpetrator, be like, look, I told you take
victim
care
blaming.
of her. What a fucking evil, dude, Tennant, Purple Man, we didn't see him in the first 2 episodes, and I was already scared shitless. He was so menacing. You're like, what the fuck? Like, you can't stop a guy like this. And I was a little sad that they did away with him the way they did, because I was like, oh fuck, dude, this guy, like, he's possibly the best villain in the MCU, and the fact that it's so personal that The man got everything he wanted his whole life, and what did he want? The one fucking thing that he couldn't have.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the conflict. It was like, I just want Jessica to like me voluntarily. As opposed to like,
because he can't control her.
Yeah. Fucking excellent, dude.
But doesn't it seem like it ends up being that way anyways? I mean, it's like
every time he was always in control, even when he wasn't trying. Everything around him, I felt like he was always in fucking control, anyways, up until the very end. Like, and I love how he didn't have to use his powers a lot. He was buying people off here, hiring people there. He's not always with the powers, but goddamn, who wouldn't love those powers? I've always wanted to be in a restaurant and be like, hey, everybody shut the fuck up for a second.
Oh, yeah, that seems great.
Although when I do that, they fucking throw me out and I get the cops called. It doesn't work. But
if you're like me and you own your own coffee shop, you can tell people to shut up. And they're like,
there you go.
I own the place. You can shut up.
Who's that asshole telling us to shut up? He's the owner. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. You can't really compare the two. Like I felt more antsy to get through Daredevil. It felt like it was more urgent.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like that first episode of Jessica Jones. I was like, okay, and then it was kind of slow until the very end of the first episode. I don't know. I don't want to spoil shit until something happens, and you're like, okay, you have my attention now. But I felt both series. I felt like maybe you didn't need 13 episodes. Like maybe you could have, like especially Jessica Jones, could have been done in like 10, 11.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like that. Actually, like going back and rewatching a bit of Daredevil, like I think Jordy's almost through episode 6 now.
Oh shit!
So kind of going back and rewatching some of it with her. A lot of the pacing in Daredevil, at least early on, feels slower now. Actually, after having watched Jessica Jones, it doesn't feel like it builds quite as much as I remember it in the early episodes. Like, because the next episode, I think episode 7 is where he meets his old mentor. Sorry, Jordy, I'm not really spoiling anything, but
And then you get the.
Well, you told me shit was going to go down.
Yeah,
dude, watch that one's great. And then right after you get the Wilson Fisk origin episode, which is fucking unbelievable. But
it builds really well from basically the middle point on toward the back end. Where I think you're right about Jessica Jones. I think in that maybe like either the 10th or 11th episode, basically after
the third act,
he gets out of the box.
Yes.
The whole
it kind of like
act,
slowed down.
It kind of just.
It kind of mean
episodes where it's just kind of the same thing repeated,
and you don't see him for like 2 episodes. You're like, what the fuck? I thought we were gonna get this guy. What is going on?
Wrap up with like the whole Jerry Wendy conflict thing and all of that. I felt like that B plot line was a bit. I could have done without it. I mean, they could have maybe skipped out on or shortened that and focused more on Jessica as the private eye.
Yeah.
In a couple spots, which they kind of did. I really appreciated the episode with the couple who was kind of the super, the anti-gifted, couple where they tried to trap her.
And she shows up.
So that parts of that kind of played more into, her actual ability as a private eye, the life she's built, after, Purple Man.
Yeah.
So I appreciate a lot of that character development.
It was a great detective show. Like it really nailed the way she goes about, and like there's so many Easter eggs, but Nuke was cool. I kind of want to see what they're gonna do with him.
Yeah, that was crazy. I haven't read a whole lot of comments, but
are they doing the Stan Lee cameo? The Stan Lee cameo appearance?
He
had a picture.
The same picture in both. So here's the thing: in both shows, that the cop in Jessica Jones that you saw where he shows up, where he tells them to hold a gun against their head, and the cop, that's the same cop from Daredevil that helps Matt out. And in Daredevil, you see Stanley's picture as a cop behind him. In that scene where Purple Man's at the station, you see the same Stanley picture.
I've come to like that in the Marvel movies with the Stanley cameos, and that's like a whole storyline itself. Where is Stan Lee going to show? There he is.
Well,
there he is.
Hayden, what were you saying to me? You said there was a couple things that didn't make sense about how things that happened in Daredevil, like that Jessica Jones didn't know about?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like reading Reddit basically the whole time I was watching Jessica Jones, or at the end of episodes, I would catch up with what other people were thinking. And based in some of the reviews and how it's almost like they went out of their way with Jessica Jones to not involve it with Daredevil
until the end, where you meet. Yeah.
When there's except for Night Nurse, but without. I mean, they're both in Hell's Kitchen.
I was going to say
in the
that
same neighborhood.
Yes.
And so when buildings are blowing up and the town's on fire,
and
there's
remember that shit, Jessica?
Crazy corrupted cops everywhere, and
she's probably drunk.
Here's
running around focusing on people getting mind controlled.
You know what I did think about is, I mean, I don't know if this I don't know the timeline of Daredevil or whatever, but what if that all happened like when she was at her childhood home?
Well, no. Here's the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe works in real time, meaning the space between the movies is how much space has passed between the actual movies. So, in Jessica Jones, all that shit in Daredevil happened 6 months ago. So you would think that she would have heard of a guy named Daredevil and talked about, maybe that guy with a suit. Or that's a good point. Now there was another great Easter egg. There's two scenes where they're in Jessica Jones, it's where they're in like a warehouse where there's an arch and it's burned out on top, which was caused by a scene in Daredevil in the same warehouse. And you see,
got it.
So there was like
Marvel always said that anyway. I remember a lot of that Marvel comics.
Yeah.
And they do a brief crossover or something like that.
Yeah.
And it would be like, when the Avengers met up with the Fantastic
Doggy!
Four,
Hi, Doggy!
They would always do that, and it would always be like 3 or 4 months behind or 3 or 4 months ahead.
Yeah.
Where
the shit is in real time, from what I understand. Everything that's coming out is happening in real time. So, like, one movie happens, the next movie knows about that movie, the show knows about what happened before. But I thought I had heard a rumor before that Matt Murdock was supposed to show up on this show, and I'm kind of disappointed. I was hoping at the end he'd be like, hey, I can help you. And then just ended there. And I would have been like, that's awesome. I did like how she set up her detective company and Malcolm was like the secretary. But how cool would it have been? Maybe don't even show him. You just see his back. And you see him with his cane walking towards the door because Claire's like, look, this girl needs your help. Even that would have gave me a huge for the show. But
I think they wanted to give, obviously bringing in Night Nurse, who's obviously a stronger female character. I mean, the whole show is about having these strong female characters and how they are there for each other and form a team. And I think, just having Daredevil show up at the end kind of would rob, especially if he's helping her.
Yeah, it would kind of defeat the purpose.
Some of her agency of actually overcoming such a personal obstacle with help outside of just Patsy. I mean, Patsy's such an integral part to her life that makes sense. Whereas, Matt Murdock, Daredevil showing up at the very end just to kick some ass doesn't, in the bigger scope of things of what they're trying to achieve with the show, doesn't necessarily
work. It would devalue the whole thing.
That's a bad idea. There was another Easter egg in the police station too. They had the newspaper with the cover of the Union Allied scandal on the wall.
Oh yeah, yep.
So that was another
Ben Urich's story. Yeah, man, I wish they didn't kill him either, because fucking Ben Urich is a huge character in the comics.
Well, and then the other, grizzled black guy.
Oh, we're spoiling this for Tony, by the way. Sorry, Tony.
No, I don't care.
There you go.
Well, I never did read Daredevil much. I didn't read Daredevil much at all.
You should read Frank Miller, any Frank Miller Daredevil. Just read that shit, and then read anything by Mark Waid that does Daredevil. That's really good.
He showed up a little bit in like Fantastic Four and the Avengers, and that's mostly all I read was Fantastic Four and the Avengers.
And he's buddies with Spider-Man and Punisher and him across, which is season 2. Fucking John Bernthal as the Punisher. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's awesome. Like, he's gonna be so great. He's perfect for that role.
So what do you think they're gonna do with Luke Cage?
Well, so today, actually, you can look up a bunch of shots have come out from the set of Luke Cage. They're filming it right now in New York. You see Claire Temple in these shots. You see I think you even see Reva Connors. Maybe it's a fucking flashback because look, they left a lot of things open, right? Why did Reva have this USB drive with all the shit on there? And what was the files that she left for Luke exactly? We didn't find out. I also love how you really don't get an origin. Like we got Daredevil's origin, you got Purple Man's origin, but you really didn't get their origin. I like that.
Luke Cage shows up and he puts a saw on his
it's awesome.
body, and he's like, "Look, I'm hard."
The guy stabs him in the neck with a bottle, and it's just nothing. And he's like, "What are you doing, dude?" And he just fucking pushes him aside. I love just how bored he looked every fight scene because you would be bored. Yeah. You're like, none of this. You have no idea what I could do to you, fella.
Yeah.
Do you think Jessica Jones is going to be in it, like, actually, or do you think that they're going to like let him do his own thing?
I think you have to establish his character a little bit. They'll probably mention her. And also the order of how it's coming out is going to make a difference. I don't know how they're doing it. They said every 6 months on Netflix, there will be a Marvel series. Now, they're shooting Luke Cage. They're shooting Daredevil 2. So I feel what's going to happen next is you're going to get Daredevil season 2. Then you're going to get Luke Cage. And then hopefully Iron Fist. And then hopefully they're doing a series called Defenders that has all of them in the one show. Oh, shit. Just imagine that, dude. All of them. Power Man, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil in one show. And then maybe the second seasons of the other shows. But I feel like they're going to squeeze in. And it's kind of like they did with Iron Man, which is okay. They had 2 Iron Mans before they really launched into Avengers. Yeah. You're going to need another season of Daredevil. And then Luke Cage, Iron Man, and then Defenders.
Yeah.
What about Patsy with Hellcat?
Yeah, so all these characters from Jessica Jones can be tied into Luke Cage's world also. Like very
they all kind of tie into the Avengers and then Fantastic Four and then the Spider-Man too, because
these guys are the street level. That's what I love about it. It's like the street level dudes, despite the fact that like Iron Fist has like mystical powers.
They have all in one point of their careers have been honorary Avengers or honorary Fantastic Four. Yeah. I remember reading that.
Yeah. So I'd love to see them in an Avengers, maybe Avengers Infinity War part. Like they get everybody on.
Yeah. Well, they should. They're honorary Avengers, so yeah.
It would be insane. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Marvel does with Phase 3. The cinematic. I really hope that they can salvage the MCU villain problem with.
It's the same shit over and over again.
Especially with Thanos. I mean, they've done a great job of having him be this kind of omnipresent threat. Yeah. Now they really got to dig into it and make it so that he's really something that everybody has to really be warranted getting together to
Well, I mean, he's a Titan, so he needs to be pretty badass.
You read it. I mean, you can read Wikipedia page or Marvel encyclopedias all day long about just how insanely powerful he is.
He is in love with death, people.
Yeah, that whole storyline is
fucking awesome.
It's so crazy.
Like he sees her and he talks to her and he's like, "I'm doing this for you, my love." Yeah. Like, fuck, dude, and he's got the gauntlet right now in the MCU.
And so that's the thing that worries me is that, with the television series, they can really dig into these villains, Fisk being, what's his technical name?
Kingpin.
Kingpin, yeah.
Kingpin.
So, these are somewhat iconic villains that you can really dig in and establish and build up to be these menacing threats. Whereas, I mean, I didn't identify with the villain in Ant-Man. I didn't identify with the villain in Iron Man 2. No. I didn't, Iron Man 1 was probably one of the best ones, but it's just because he had such a personal tie to Tony Stark.
I mean, you have Loki.
I think that's why it worked. Yeah. And also you had a great actor playing him too,
But I mean, you had Loki, but Loki's also tied with Thor, who they already kind of covered with him.
Right.
Yeah, so. I'm done with the villain being like the same, like just a bad version of the hero. Like it's a mirror, like Ant-Man. It's another guy in a shrinky suit, and Captain America. It's like another. So they.
And then the whole, twist kind of thing they pulled in Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin was. For me, it was a little disappointing. I know some people enjoyed it.
They wasted another great villain, like the Mandarin.
Yeah.
He could possibly be out there still.
It wasn't unique enough, having what's his name, Guy Pearce. He looks too similar to what the villain in Iron Man 2 was. It's just the kind of corporate, slick-haired guy who's just running everything. Whereas if you have Ben Kingsley, who's got all this charisma, all this,
Kingsley. It was Gandhi, dude. He was
Kingsley.
fucking Gandhi, and you didn't know that was a white guy. You were like, "That's
like
an Indian
the Mandarin," you know. He looks like what you think he would be, and so he's got that character and that aura behind him already. Whereas if you just roll and you just run with that and get crazy with it, it might actually be, you know, something that people remember instead of just, we think it's this guy, but it's really this whitewashed.
That was annoying.
Is it bad that I don't remember Iron Man 3?
No, not at all.
I never saw
It's not
Iron Man
very
3. I didn't
memorable.
really want to see
why you
Iron
don't
Man.
Listen,
remember it.
I blame the fucking director Shane Black, he's done Lethal Weapon, and every movie he does is the fucking same. They all take place on Christmas. There's a white guy and a black guy, and they're buddies, and they don't get along. It's exactly the same thing as
I
Lethal
didn't want
Weapon.
to see Iron Man 3. I'm like, do they really do another Iron Man movie?
There was a 3, and I mean, it was cool. The only cool thing I liked was all the fucking suits came out, but there's a lot of plot holes in that fucking movie. Like, he's destroyed the suits, he didn't destroy the suits, I'm dying, I'm not dying, let's just tell everyone where I live. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why Thor worked with Loki is because one, you have a great actor playing the character, but the character has a personal relationship with the hero, and it's different enough, you know. Yeah. It's a mystical off-world. It's fantasy, you know. That's the reason. For a different reason than that. That's why Robert Redford's villain worked. You know, he's technically the villain is the threat of, you know, killing off people. It's the threat of what does the government do. It's technically the government, but his character works well enough because he's got history with, you know, everything that's come before it, and they set it up as such. And he's got so much charisma as an actor.
I mean, it's fucking
a lot
Redford.
Of these other guys, you know, as long as he loves the guys.
I mean, anyone remember Malekith? I don't give a fuck about Malekith. That was very
I mean, Christopher Eccleston is great. You know, he's great as the Doctor. He's
just
great.
Underused. Oh, that was a Doctor too, man.
He was the Ninth Doctor.
Wait, so let me get back for a second, because people watching Jessica Jones who are Doctor Who fans, I heard a lot of complaints that they were like, David Tennant is such a pleasant guy. It's hard for me to, and me, I've never watched Doctor Who. I was like, this is an evil, fucking sadistic, psychopathic motherfucker. I was
said the same thing, because I mean, he's my favorite of like the Doctors of this new reboot. Like, he's my favorite, and so I'm like, I mean, yeah, he was awesome as this villain, but occasionally I'm like, the Doctor.
I'm kind of glad that
I saw some pictures of
seen
him. I saw some pictures on him a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I mean, I don't remember seeing that on Doctor Who. When was that on Doctor Who?
You know, and this is one instance where I'm like, I'm really glad that I'd never seen him on Doctor Who, because it worked for me so good. Like, I was like, this guy's a fucking sick motherfucker, and you can't stop him.
Well, and he does a really good job, and like, I feel he did separate himself from being the Doctor and also this villain. But like, as somebody that knows Doctor Who, like in the beginning, it was kind of hard to like separate the two, considering about how big of a deal he is in
I really hope
universe.
He does, because I have a hard time getting into these characters, and they're in these characters for so long, and then you see them in a new role, and you're like, that's not how. And they kind of get typecasted in what they are.
I mean, it's just it's a challenge. It's a challenge for the performer, but he was so good that for a little bit I felt bad for Kilgrave for a couple of those conversations. I was like, wow, I feel they did this to this kid, and now you kind of felt bad for him.
And then they spin it around, and it's like, well, actually,
No,
I
think though you see a lot. Like, for me, I saw a lot of what Tennant did as the Doctor in Kilgrave, though, just because.
Well, yeah.
In parts, he seems like almost a likable guy. Like, he just seems like he's just misunderstood. Like, he's got a ton of pain and just issues that are unresolved, which the Doctor also has. You know,
great casting, then whoever.
Part of that. Yeah, I mean, the casting is just great because he has this element of charm to him that Kilgrave naturally has.
Yep.
Even though he's got the power of persuasion, it still comes across as, just almost pleasant at times.
Well, here's the thing.
How it rolls off his.
But I'm sure at one point
the doctor and Kilgrave, they're both very manipulative people, and they use their intelligence to manipulate. I mean, yes, Kilgrave had his power or whatever that helped, but he was also very smart at the same time. So
he was also charming, and he didn't, like I said, he didn't use his powers.
I mean, that's pretty much what David Tennant did as the Doctor. He was very charming, but he also kind of manipulated people into doing what he wanted by also being intimidating at the same time by letting them know how smart he was. And
I'm
how
sure
much
at
he
some
knew.
point in my watching, I'll be like, okay, when's he gonna pull out Sonic screwdriver?
Well, and I ended up separating it towards the end.
By the end, it was he fell into the role, which is the beauty of having a 13-hour movie. People, I argue that the stuff Marvel is making on Netflix is the best shit they're producing on any screen right now.
It just gives them time to develop things. You don't have to rush.
I think it's better than the movies. I would put it.
They're on Netflix, or they're not on like basic television, or not on cable. Yeah. So they have a little more freedom to do more adult-oriented, racier stuff, and you give it a little more leeway towards some characters and things. So that probably helps a little bit in the development.
It's funny how I always say that technology has helped. Marvel is always waiting for technology to really bring their characters to the screen, because you could do a Batman, as we saw, you could do a Superman in the 70s and 80s. Yeah. DC was able to do it, but to be able to show a guy swinging on a web line through Manhattan, like that tech, the CGI wasn't there then. And when the CGI got there, they jumped on it. And now for them to jump on Netflix, which is a completely new, untested model, the technology is there for them to take advantage of this kind of fun.
Yeah, for the most part.
Because who would have thought there'd be a Netflix to fucking begin with, right?
They used to have to go to HBO for that shit.
Yeah, right, and that would be awesome too. To do.
Speaking of HBO, did anybody see the Game of Thrones teaser?
No, I did not. I heard it was good. That's another thing. I think we talked about this last week. That I don't, haven't caught up or watched any of it.
I'm not into Game of Thrones at all. So.
Peyton, you in the Game of Thrones too?
Yeah, we watch it religiously. So.
What do you watch? Agents Shield, Flash, or Arrow, or any of those?
No.
I watched the first season of Agent of Shield, but I don't know.
I did too, and then
that was the bad. You got to get past that one. That's the bad.
There's episodes waiting for me on my DVR, which are going to be going tomorrow, and I got to reset them all back up again. Because I'm getting Dish instead of Direct now, so
I've watched a few episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched several episodes of Agent Carter. I haven't watched any of The Flash or Green Arrow or
I like
Supergirl.
The Flash a lot and the Arrow.
I've heard a lot of people
fun.
do like The Flash, so that's good to hear, considering what DC's trying to do in their cinematic
DC
universe.
is a mess right now. All right, let's do this. Let's go trailer for trailer. I'm sure you guys have seen the two trailers. Have you seen the Civil War trailer? Have you seen the Batman versus Superman trailer?
Oh, yeah.
Here's a perfect, you put these up against each other. This is exactly what Marvel is doing right and what the fuck DC is doing wrong. First of all, DC shit is all over the place. The only thing that they're killing with is the shit on CW. The shit on Fox, Gotham, is a fucking mess. Entertaining? It's a mess. The shit on CBS, Supergirl, that is a fucking mess. So only good thing. And now with this movie, Batfleck I was looking forward to hearing him speak some lines because we hadn't heard him as Bruce Wayne, but
he says one line at the end.
No, but he has that conversation in the beginning between Clark and when they first meet, where fucking annoying ass Luthor.
I guess that's the Gotham in me.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. And I don't know. It was hard not to see Ben Affleck.
The Batman Superman.
I just don't know about him being Batman. I just am not sure about.
Listen, he's gonna be Batfleck for like the next 10 years. They got him locked down for like 7 fucking movies. We gotta just get used to this. That's it. He's all in now. That's the only reason he's doing this movie. Is because they let him direct his own. He's gonna write and direct his own Batman movie. It's the only reason he's in this fucking.
Well, I know one of the girls that's going to be in the movie, in the Batman versus Superman movie.
Yeah.
And her name's Christina Wren, and she plays in a web series called L.A. Macabre. But anyway, she's a famous, up-and-coming famous actress, and she's going to be playing – she plays the role when you're talking about Superman. She says, I think he's kind of hot. That's Christina Wren.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
That's Christina Wren.
Oh,
and,
cool.
Yeah, I know her through the web series community, and her and I kind of tweet back and forth through the Twitter universe sometimes. And she said that the Batman, Batflick, whatever, you know, he just kind of he's taken more of a 1970s, 1980s look at Batman, meaning he's doing half Bruce Wayne of who's the fellow who played in the 60s Batman?
Adam West? He's pulling from Adam West, Batman?
Well, he's pulling from that, and then he's also pulling from the
Michael Keaton?
1980s Batman with Beetlejuice, and I'm like
Michael Keaton. And
I'm kind of like, okay, so he's doing Adam West and Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Bruno Real Deal says in the chat, Affleck's gonna wreck it just like he did with Daredevil. I heard somewhere that originally he did Daredevil because he really wanted to do Batman. He couldn't get Batman. And he's like, Daredevil is kind of like similar to Batman.
Oh my god!
Character-wise, that's why he did Daredevil.
Poor man's Batman.
It is. I mean, it's like their dark street guy. But that's why he did the Daredevil and. Daredevil,
when you're not doing,
it wasn't very good.
When you're trying to do a grungy kind of Batman, but you're taking Keaton and West Batman together, which is kind of comic book related, you're kind of like, no, those three don't mix. They don't go.
Well,
what's next? He gonna put nipples on his batsuit?
Oh God, no.
Those three don't go together at all. And I'm like,
wait, Pay didn't say that again.
I said, especially after what Christopher Nolan pulled off by doing grungy Batman. This guy is just, he is Batman and Bruce Wayne's the cover-up, you know. That's what he pulled off. And trying to do anything sort of dark, grungy, brooding like that after all of that, especially after The Dark Knight, it's just, it's so difficult. And I don't know that anybody who stepped into that role was immediately going to be welcomed, but Ben Affleck isn't. I mean, that's not the first guy.
However, though, if you think about the movies that he's written and directed and starred in, he has a pretty good track record. Like these are some Oscar-nominated movies. So
Argo and stuff.
Yeah, regardless of how Snyder is going to direct him in this movie, I'm more curious for his own version of Batman, what he's going to get to do with it. Bruno Real Deal actually said what I was thinking. The best fucking Batman is Kevin Conroy from Batman the Animated
the
Series.
cartoon series was great.
That is the best characterization of any version of Batman you're gonna find for a while. Like it had everything.
To be fair, I mean, it's gonna be pretty hard to follow The Dark Knight, anyways. I mean, because I feel like that they did Batman really well. So, I mean, and then Ben Affleck's gonna pick up and be better than that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I really think that to do Batman right, at least nowadays, without retreading on a lot of what Christopher Nolan did, you got to draw inspiration from the animated series because it was just so good. It was so consistent, so good. And really, I was glad that Heath Ledger Joker turned out as well as it did because to me, the penultimate Joker is, Mark Hamill. Just the madness and creativity he brings to that character is just insane. And for what he does in the Arkham game series is just outstanding. I mean, I finished Arkham Knight about a couple weeks ago, and without spoiling anything, Joker comes back in some flashbacks and stuff, but he just kills it. Just
that's what I heard.
Absolutely destroys.
That's
it.
Mark Hamill too, isn't it?
Oh
right?
Yeah,
great.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill's coming back next week on Flash, playing this guy Trickster, and you're like, it's just the Joker. Like he's doing the Joker voice as Trickster, and you're like, I'm just gonna imagine
Is he
it's
really?
the fucking
He did it last season. He did.
Well, and his name is Trickster.
His name is Trickster, and it's so good. And so
role.
I just imagine that's fucking Joker. Bruno Real Deal in chat is right. All this shit that they're doing in Batman vs Superman, he's got to set up Justice League. They're going the reverse way Marvel is doing it. They're going to do the team first and then do all the solo movies.
Yeah.
So they won't be called copycats. I like the other thing is if I was Henry Cavill on the set of this movie, I'd have been like, hey, what the fuck? Wasn't this supposed to be my fucking sequel? When are these 7 motherfuckers are coming in? I got 20 minutes of screen time now, you bastards. What happened here? This was a Superman. Not anymore, dude.
I mean, after seeing the part where Superman drops down a hole and D Hood's Batman, it's just like,
I think so. People are saying that none of that made sense. People are saying that's a dream sequence on the part of Bruce.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a character called Nightmare Batman, and I'm not.
There's like parademons in that shot, but any fucking movie, Batman movie that has a dream sequence that's supposed to be edgy, I don't know. Where does that fit into the fucking story? What's going on?
Well, especially since it's been done to death about him daydreaming about his parents and all the myriad villains that have supposedly killed
I don't know. I found when I first saw the Batman versus Superman movie promo, I was kind of like, this is sacrilegious almost.
Oh, I looked over to Peyton and I was like, "Are they fucking serious?"
And I'm coming from a agnostic Christian point of view, and I'm like, this is kind of sacrilegious.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I mean, I saw somebody else comment like who didn't know anything about anything comic books, and they're like, "Is this like God versus Jesus?" And I was like, "Ooh, I could see how you can get that." Bruno Real Deal says, "I'm on the fence with this one." We at the show, if you listen to the show, we're the same way. We don't give a lot of credit to Zack Snyder. All of this falls on his shoulders because the man can make shit look amazing. But to me, he can't direct people worth shit. Like, it's flat. Like, I don't care about any of his characters. Like, the performance is just flat. Like, it looks great. I'm going to watch the movie with the sound off and enjoy it. And I don't give it, who cares what
That's the Gotham in me.
I'll definitely watch it.
4 times in the theater.
What's that one? Which one? Watchmen?
300, 400.
Oh, 300. Okay, but again, this is an adaptation. So when he's giving like a comic book that's perfectly storyboarded, just fucking shoot this and don't change it. But when he does shit himself, like Watchmen is great. But when he does shit himself like Sucker Punch, you're like, dude, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's all over the place.
This should have been like an India music video. Like, what is this? This is not it's a fucking story. It's like
I still haven't seen.
Don't bother.
Don't do it.
It's all style. Those songs.
There's a bunch of hot chicks.
Like you said, there's a lot of stylistic ability there, but there's just not a whole lot underneath.
Which is fine. So he should just be like the visual effects supervisor and get someone else to direct it.
That's describing the Sherlock Holmes movie with the Robert Downey Jr. That's the same concept.
I feel like Robert Downey Jr. can carry more than that. I mean, Sucker Punch, it didn't have any actors that could really carry anything. The leads were all relatively unknown. So,
but he also did. You guys ever see Dawn of the Dead? Like that was one of his first movies. It was the remake of Dawn of the Dead. It's very good. Yeah. That's actually probably my favorite Snyder movie because that movie is pretty good. Like that's a good zombie movie. It's a good zombie. It had Bing Rames. Good zombie remake. But then after that, like, what are you doing, dude? The only thing saving the other movies is that other DC movies is that Zack Snyder will not be directing them. That's the only thing I can look forward to, like Suicide Squad. Now, are you more excited for the Captain America Civil War or Super Batman Superman?
Civil War.
That's amazing because really, if you think about it, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, without a doubt, the most iconic, most known superheroes, household names. Yet they can't fucking pull this off to make it work. Like
I just always feel like that movies that are like blank versus blank always end up being shit.
Yeah, we know that they're going to come together at the end. It's like a thing. And this trailer.
Well, they already showed it in the trailer. I mean, I watched the movie already.
Alien versus Predator was okay.
It's like
I like
they
that. I like
compare
that.
each other's
I like
dicks
AVP.
for a while.
I like
I
it.
mean, they compare each other's dicks for a while, punch
Yeah,
each
that's
other up a bit, and then Wonder Woman drops down and is like, "Okay, I'm getting rid of your hard-ons."
Yeah, it's like, oh, she can help. That's good to know.
Yeah, I
Plus,
thought
they-
she was with you.
Plus, there's also they have to shoehorn in. They're gonna have to shoehorn in Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg,
Aquaman,
set up
yeah.
all this other shit. There's a million things going on here. It's gonna be
And then we were saying, like, what are they doing with Aquaman? I said,
That
he's just going to
Aquaman
ride in
thing.
on a whale somewhere.
That Aquaman thing.
He's
is
just going to
weird.
come in, like, on Moby Dick.
I like the way Momoa looks though. As I
Yeah.
kind of love the tough tattoo. Like it's like what's that? The island people. What's that movie?
Yeah, I see where they're going with
I
it.
kind of like that.
Atlantean. Kind of like Atlantis.
The
Yeah.
Atlantean
Aquaman.
people.
You know
Yeah.
what'd be really badass if Aquaman got Godzilla out of the water.
Oh, that'd be great. He should ride on
Godzilla.
Ride
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
He should be riding up on Godzilla. Just mash everything together. Fuck it.
Yeah, just
You know?
just put him in the King Kong Godzilla
Give
movies.
it 5 years, they're gonna do that. People are gonna get so sick, they're gonna like, you know what? Just throw all the shit in what movie? Fuck it. Let's see what happens.
The first time I saw the picture for the Aquaman movie, and I saw that Jason Momoa was going to be the Aquaman, I'm like, oh, when did his character from Stargate Atlantis get? Are they making a Stargate Atlantis movie? You know,
Plus,
So
it's
he was
gonna
in
get-
Stargate Atlantis?
yeah, he was in Stargate Atlantis,
Oh.
and
Well,
I forgot
I
the
only
name. It's
know him- I only know him
Rowan
from the
or
first season of Game of
Rowan.
Thrones.
Yeah,
It's
see,
something
when
like
I
that.
saw him, I was
Yeah.
like thinking that he was the Dothraki, you know.
And I saw it, and I'm like, oh, are they making a movie about Jason Momoa's character from Stargate Atlantis? And I'm like, oh,
It's gonna get confusing because there's another guy playing Flash. Everyone loves Grant Gustin as Flash. Now you got this other fucking dude as Flash. And
See,
I
that's
also
what I'm
heard,
talking
that
about.
parallel universe kind of thing going on.
but is it
Yeah.
like what? Like fucking get your shit together on what
That's
universe? Like, what are you
stupid.
doing? The thing is, I heard that the Flash in Batman vs Superman doesn't even use the Speed Force. He's wearing a suit that makes him run fast, which is completely fucking stupid.
What?
Come on.
Yes, they're ruining everything.
Ugh.
Like this is gonna be a hot mess.
I like where they're going with the Flash because of the fact that I'm not the parallel universe kind of thing. That's kind of weird. I mean, to throw that in so soon. This is only season 2, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's great.
You're-
But DC has a multiverse, and they're
you're
using
already
it.
throwing in the multi-universe.
I love it.
in
I
season
love it.
2.
Dude, the
Why
Flash is the most comic booky
Uh,
thing on TV. Like they embrace the comic book. There's a show where you see a telepathic fucking gorilla and a giant man-eating land shark, and then you see and it's amazing.
that's-
It all works. It all works.
That's great.
That
The
sounds
parallel
awesome.
universe thing, it came in way too early. I'm like, you're doing this already. Why not do this next season? or
Dude,
next
at the end of the first season, they went through like half of the Flash's history in the books. I was like, what the fuck are you gonna do second season? Like you did everything.
Yeah,
But this is what I love about it.
now is they're doing a lot of the other Flash.
Earth 2 Flash.
Yeah, they're doing the other Flash. They're doing the original Flash that everybody knows with the red suit and stuff.
Jay
And then they're
Garrick
doing
Flash.
that.
Yeah.
And then doing the other one with the little helmet.
Then there's a reverse Flash. There's gonna be more speedsters. There's Wally West is coming in. Jesse Quick is a speedster. There's reverse Flash. There's Zoom. There's Jay Garrick. It's a lot of fun. What's the doggy's name? He's so cute.
So
This is Avia.
Baby, oh,
they're trying to make some of the scenes look like some of the panels from the old where the two Flashes meet.
Dude, let me tell you, unlike like Marvel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will like invent characters that because they can't. They're a fucking Flash pulls everything right from the comic book. They're like, yeah, this guy is the same name. We're putting him in. This guy is so great. Like it's just such. It makes you feel like a kid. And each show is paced like a comic book. It opens with his narration on the front. The pacing is like you're flipping the pages, and it ends with like a little cliffhanger. But then it has this overall story arc. It's a really fun show. Like they're killing it with that, and the cast is great. The chemistry is great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just works.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I don't know. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's been 3 hours.
Whoa, has it really?
For me, anyways. We've been up here. We've been out here for 3 hours. We started 3 hours ago. I love that you guys come and hang out. I can't thank you guys enough for watching the Jock and Nerd podcast. Tell a friend. Give them one. Yeah, the next person.
I told a friend.
Good.
He's right there.
I want you to, in real life, the next person you see, I want you to do this.
Jock and Nerd.
And then just run away with a cackling like a fool, and they'll be confused.
I should.
They'll have to go.
No,
Google
I have a Periscope friend named Bob that I do blabs with every now and then. I'll have to tell him about it. But he does like movie trailer voices and stuff.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
This summer.
So
stuff like that.
Yeah, he does the in a world.
In a world.
And that's just how he talks. But yeah, if you're ever on Blab or whatever and you see anything that's called Radio Free Bob, that's him.
Yes, I know Radio Free Bob.
I think I might have seen that. Yeah.
Yes, I know Radio Free Bob really well.
Yeah, I met him through Periscope, and then I converted him over here to Blab, and he's my friend on here. So
that's awesome.
Him and I were at a Blab together. I did a Blab about a week and a half ago about critical thinking, and he come in, and he was a great co-host for me.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He really knows what he's doing, and he's got all these side projects and stuff that he does.
And he's into like geek stuff. He's into comic book stuff.
I think he's more of like a music person.
Oh,
I haven't really talked to him about that. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that stuff. I'll see what I can get out of him.
Have him come on.
He's a really smart guy, though. He is a really
he's very intelligent.
And I sometimes I wonder if he's another parish or another blabber that's on here too, but I'm not going to name names because it may be him and may not be him.
No, he didn't even know about Blab until I told him about it, and he just kind of jumps on his Radio Free Bob every now and then.
Yeah.
Hey, before I wrap up, let me ask the three of you this question. It's kind of a little bit of focus group effort on my part. Do you guys listen to podcasts, audio podcasts?
All the time, yes.
You do?
Occasionally.
Through Stitcher.
Not really.
Stitcher Radio.
Not really. Oh, you listen to Stitcher. All right, yep. Tony, you got to go to your Stitcher, search Jock and Nerd, hit that subscribe button.
Okay.
Peyton, what do you listen to?
Mostly just either... I don't know. It varies. Like sometimes I'll listen to a Nerdist podcast. Sometimes I'll listen to
I listen to Nerdist.
Sometimes I'll listen to like the CBS basketball podcast. Sometimes I'll listen to the ESPN Fantasy Focus.
Peyton is a jock and a nerd.
This is great. I was just going to say,
walk that very
Peyton, you will love our show. I want you to subscribe in whatever you listen in, search Jock and Nerd Podcast. Because here's the thing. These shows we do on Blab, this goes in the audio feed. But in between these shows, we interview like filmmakers, writers, artists, musicians. We geek out about comic books. We talk about the UFC occasionally. My co-host, the Jock, will have shows. We've done a lot of Spider-Man shows. There's officially over 100 hours of show audio now. We just started in March. So there's lots of content. So since March, this is episode 63 of the fucking podcast. I don't know what happened. We just went on a tear.
Crazy.
There's great food. We reviewed Daredevil. We reviewed all the movies. We're going to review Jessica Jones. You can hear more of Rug Boy. You can go listen to Rug Boy's first show.
I love Rug Boy.
Rug Boy's the best. So I think you are like our demo. That's all I'm saying. Just give me a subscribe.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Give me a subscribe. jockandnerd.com. You can find all the links. But that's I love that you're a Jock and a Nerd. You got to get more.
You're welcome for bringing you here.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
I was at the gym lifting today, but I'm gonna go stand in line for Star Wars. It's just
You didn't get tickets yet?
That's what I do.
Oh, we did. No, we have tickets. I actually got 4 tickets on accident.
Oh,
we accidentally bought 2 sets of tickets.
You could probably make like $500 with those other 2 tickets at this point if you wanted to.
Luckily, I've got enough friends that we can find somebody to go with us.
I wonder if there'll be people like scalping on the street like it's a fucking Grateful Dead concert.
They probably will be.
Probably already on like Craigslist and stuff.
Let me ask you this: realistically, if I haven't bought tickets yet, am I going to be able to see this movie in the first couple of days?
Probably not.
No, you say no. You say yes.
Yeah,
you might be able to see like a.
Depends on what time you decide to go.
I'm gonna go try to catch like a late at night or middle of the day thing.
If you decide to go to a matinee, maybe you'll get to see a matinee.
You go to a matinee.
Yeah, if you go like in the morning.
I just feel like it's gonna be on so many fucking screens that even though there's got to be fucking tickets still. Like I'll be surprised. This movie's made $100 million. It's not even fucking out yet.
Yeah, it depends on what format. If you want to try to like I'm going to wait probably a week and a half or 2 weeks and then go to our biggest IMAX screen here in the Oklahoma City. So
it's going to fucking rule in the IMAX screens. Bruno Real Deal says, I will wait for the live stream. Hey, Bruno, why don't you go and live stream it on Periscope? Yeah, coming from the cinema. Somebody will live stream it on Periscope. I'll just
I'm sure somebody will go in there.
That shit is going to leak. Also, I wonder how quickly it is going to leak. Because as you know, you can get anything.
I almost feel like it'll be immediate.
Yeah, I mean, there's shows shows starting at like 7 p.m. on Thursday night. So,
Bruno Real Deal, do you think it will leak before it even comes out in the theater? I don't
know
think
about
it
that.
will. I think Disney and J.J. Abrams are so just.
They got the locked down.
Disney's got to stick up their ass.
I mean, it could. I mean, I wouldn't.
You don't fuck with Disney lawyers. I know that.
Speaking of Disney, did anybody? I was looking at a Periscope, but they have like a Hall of Heroes now and like a Star Wars launch bay at like Disneyland. I'm not sure about Disney World, but it's like a two-story. It's like where Tomorrowland is. And it's like a two-story thing, and there's like the bottom is all like Star Wars like memorabilia and like stuff from the actual movies. Like there's actual Yoda there. And then like the upstairs is like has all the Iron Man suits. And stuff. It's really like you should look it up because I was watching somebody on Periscope that had it and it was really awesome.
That's awesome about Periscope. They're just walking around and like showing it to you pretty much. It's like it's fucking amazing. That's just the fact that you can broadcast live to the world from your goddamn phone. What the fuck is going on here, people? This is some kind of fucking ancient evil voodoo magic shit.
Yeah, I was playing frisbee with my dog today and like 70 people were watching me throw frisbee. Like
I wish we had 70 people watching this shit. Those are good numbers. Fuck.
Well, you've had that many before.
No, we did. We haven't blown up quite as we did that one day, but
that one night that I first found you guys.
Holy shit, that was fun. That was fun. Like you feel the energy, like just on the screen. There was like 50 people watching us one night. I was like, what the shit is going on? There's fucking 50 people here, and you feel the energy. It was fantastic. We're gonna get back onto that. I love this is a crazy community that I'm just learning about still as we go. So thanks you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna have to get going. Subscribe to the podcast, jockandnerd.com. Let us know what you think. And we'll be back next week for some more mid-season finales, probably the same time. Same Rug Boy time, same Rug Boy channel.
Yeah, hopefully Rug Boy feeling okay.
Yeah, I hope he had some. I think he ate some bad meat off the street.
I don't
street sandwiches.
I don't think he felt too good.
No.
But
I see what you did there. Hold on, I got you. All right, we got to end on the felty pun. Come on, people. You're giving it, Tony. That was a solid line. I'm gonna steal that next time. He did not. He is a felty American.
He was looking a little rugged.
There you go. He was looking a little fuzzy in the face there. Oh, we could do this all night. That's fantastic. Too bad Ruggs had to go, but I think he was really feeling bad. I'm gonna have to check up on him.
Yeah.
And see the stuffing is still in his head. It's a lot of maintenance trying to be a felty, man. It's hard to look that good.
Oh yeah. Plus he doesn't have Jim Henson's crew to help him out, so you know.
Oh, he's in a feud with the Muppets. Don't bring that up. It's a very sour subject. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Peyton.
Yeah, I'll make him come on more often.
Yeah, right on. Check out the show. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, sweet.
All right, guys. I'm gonna play a little outro music. Jock and Nerd Podcast. Thanks for hanging out.
See ya.
Thank you.